going on, people? We just getting started. We're back in the house, guys. I'm that dude named Dave, TD&D here. It's hump day, y'all. How's everybody doing? Oh my God. Yo, we back in the building. We in this place here. We about to get cooking. Diddy. Oh, we gonna get into it in a second, guys. Give me a moment. I don't know if any notifications gonna get sent out. You know how the powers that be. They hurting the boy, they hurting the kid, but it's okay though. We gonna keep rocking. If it's one person here, if it's 10 people here, hundreds, we gonna keep rocking the same way, baby. Let me go. We about to get started here in one moment, guys. One moment. Man, how's everybody doing today, guys? How's everybody living? Oh my God. Hey, before I even get started here, right? All right. I gotta make sure I'm not struggle streaming already. I need to make sure if y'all can hear me. We just got started, right? Press a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me. Press 2 if you can't. Let go. Man, I gotta figure out how I do these balloons, y'all. I'm watching myself here. How do I do that on StreamYard? StreamYard technical support. Help your boy out, man. I don't feel like Googling it right now. I don't feel like doing a search on how do I get these balloons on the screen with just my hand gestures. Man, what's going on, StreamYard? Help your boy out here. Anyways, guys, I'm that dude named Dave. I see a couple of ones. That means y'all can hear me here. Welcome. Glad I could be back into the house here, you know what I mean? We gonna talk about Diddy, guys. We're going to talk about Diddy today, man. Oh, man. You know, it's... I'm not gonna start right now, because if I start right now, the show is just gonna start right now. There's so many things that's in my head. There's so many things that's on my mind. I read the complaints. I seen a couple. We're gonna react to a few videos, guys. We all. If you guys just know a few things, or you've been seeing bits and pieces and things of that nature, you know, we gonna get caught up today, guys. We gonna get up to speed, baby, because man, oh man, I'm gonna get to the chat. And I'm gonna repeat this a couple of times today, guys. There is only 2 outcomes for Diddy right now. I know it's the American justice system. He is a man who is innocent until proven guilty. But all I gotta say here before we get started, there's only 2 outcomes. The only 2 outcomes here is Diddy's going to jail, or Diddy's gonna be Epsteined. We're gonna get into it. Yo, for the people I know, some of y'all, for my New York people out there, I know y'all ride with Diddy, you know what I'm saying? I know Diddy is your guy, you know what I'm saying? And there's some things I'm questioning too, guys. I'm questioning a couple of things here, right? But, you know, either he gonna spend the, matter of fact, Monday was the last day he was a free man, guys. I'm putting that out there right now. Monday was the last day that he was a free man. And there's only 2 courses of action, guys. Either he's gonna serve the rest of his days in Brooklyn, where he's at right now, or he about to be Epstein, guys. It's only one of the 2, guys. It's only one of the 2, and he's gonna have to choose that door. But before we get into it, guys, before we do on that, let me see who's in the chat here, and then we're gonna get rocking and rolling, rock, man. You know, so let me see here. We got my man Pooh Man, says I'll be ninja watching and prairie dogging. All right, man, what's going on, Pooh Man? Nice you came on through. You know, also I dropped the link, guys, today. So not right now, but you know, if y'all want to talk up your boy, you know, you got to have your cameras on. I just can't have no ninjas coming out here trying to pull their penis out. The time before last that I dropped the link, man, some dude came through and pulled his penis out. We can't have y'all tethers or y'all gay tethers out here, or the gay pumpers out here doing them things here, okay, guys? I dropped the link, but your camera's gotta be on. I gotta recognize you to a degree here, because if you pull your things out, it ain't gonna be pretty. Man, y'all just some freaks, man. Y'all on y'all Diddy. You know what I mean? Y'all just on y'all Diddy, man. Pooh Man, say what's up here. Where the thick white women at? I mean, buttermilk thick white women. I know you'll get down. You want the thickness. I hear you, man. I hear you. You want the thickness. Hey, let's see here. What's going on, Pinball? Pinball in the house here. Where you at today, man? Where the mobile studio? Well, not studio. Where's the mobile office at, Pinball? Hope all's well your way, brother. Glad you checked on in. What's going on, Jeff, man? Salute to you. Peace, Jeff, in the building. Thank you, man. Like, subscribe, share, comment, salute. All right, man. Salute to you, man. Yeah, nah, we're not doing no sports talk like that today, man. No. What's going on, Drew? Drew in the building. What's going on, man? Yeah, got a few ones here. Yeah, what's going on, A.L. Richardson? Good to see you. Pinball, you can hear me. That's what's up. That's what's up. Jeff, you can hear me. That's what's up. I'll save my tooth for later. You better. But time your ass out and take your wrench again, Derek. Stop playing with me, dog. Stop playing with me. Hey, what's going on, JD in the building? All that lube. Hey, man. Real talk here. Do y'all know how long baby oil lasts? Like, do you understand how much baby oil has to be used to have over 1,000 bottles on reserve? And we black. You know how long a bottle of baby oil goes through for black people? And to have 1,000? Hey, man, I'm kind of curious what them parties were doing. Like, they were just going ahead and drenching themselves with it. Anyway, remember when he said he liked to see himself shining? Well, now we see him shining now. God, Dizzle, man. Said, you can get arrested for owning too much lube, niggas in trouble. Hey, Drew, stop it, man. Apparently, if you own hundreds and thousands of bottles of baby oil, man, the way we're gonna get into it, Drew, don't worry. But the way it sounds like, Diddy helped keep Johnson & Johnson in business. Because you gotta understand, that's what they found, the 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Do you know how much baby oil has been used the last 15 years? Yo, we gonna get into it, guys. Do you understand? They found 1,000 bottles of baby oil. But do you understand how much baby oil has been used in the last 15 years to have 1,000 on reserve? Be like, hey, you know, back in 2010, we ran out back in June. Diddy's like, we got to make sure we have extra baby oil, okay? We can't run out like last year, right? And then you keep getting extra and extra and extra. Yo, we got to discuss that, man. Because do you understand over the 15 years how much stock? I need to do some stock watch. I need to find out between 2009 and 2018 Johnson & Johnson stock. Because I think we missed out on something probably, guys. I think we missed out on a hot number because we probably could have made a nice little chunk of change because Diddy was keeping Johnson & Johnson in business, baby. We going to get into it, man. We going to get into it. Yeah, man, Epstein, no doubt. What's going on, Squeegee Kid? Hey, before we even get started here, guys, y'all know how you can support the channel, guys. Super chat, super thanks, super stickers, as well as the Cash App ticker scrolling down below. $ that dude named Dave. And also, when it's not on the ticker, it's in the description box below. $ that dude named Dave. Y'all know y'all can support the channel, keep the lights on. Comment bill's coming up, guys. My comment bill is coming up here. I gotta keep the blue lights on. I gotta keep the blue lights on. I gotta pay. I was talking to JD. I see him in the chat here. I gotta pay for StreamYard here. I need y'all just to help me keep this thing going here. You know, I'm not asking for Diddy money. Just go ahead and show your support. And that's what Squeegee Kid is doing right now with the first holla, the $19.99. We don't give a damn about that penny. We give you that upgrade like Kanye said to Beyonce, saying, guess who's back? Another fun trip from Minnesota to Wisconsin to Illinois to Iowa to Nebraska to Colorado to Utah to Nevada to California back to Nevada to AC to Utah to Colorado to Nebraska to Iowa to Minnesota. Wasn't an earthquake in LA. Thought it was Kendrick contestant. I got green beans. Squeegee Kid, like how I wouldn't take that one? The man in the building, Squeegee. Hey, man, salud. Thank you for the holla. I appreciate you. Thank you. Right back at you with that first super of the evening. Man, that's what I like to see here, dropping that $20 holla. Hold on, I got to acknowledge that over here, man. I appreciate you, man. Hold on, where's it at here? Let me do that here, guys. Man, that's how we got to get started here. Support the channel, man. Support the interest, guys. Because, man, now that I got a little bit of juice in the system now, we going to get started now. We going to get going here. Man, it goes a lot to support the channel, Squeegee Kid. You've been here around day one here. I appreciate everybody that show your support and show your love to these hollers, guys. Thank you very much, man. Thank you. Make sure I got the Cash App open, too. Just make sure if y'all see me Cash App, I'm acknowledging them in real time. Give me 1 second here, guys. Okay, let me do that. All righty. Make sure I can see them when they come in. All right, man. Hey, Squeegee, you've been all over the globe, man. I mean, all over the United States, man. You the illest nigga in Nebraska? You in Colorado with Deion Sanders? You in Iowa with Caitlin Clark, man? You in Nevada? Well, where you at, man? You all over the place. You in Utah, man, with the Mormons? You all over the place, Squeegee Kid, man. Doing the thizzle, man. Get your work on, man. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you for that holler, man. Thank you. Let's keep going here, man. Thomas, what's going on, man? Johnson stock has gone up. Yeah, man. That's all I want to know, man. I think we missed a hot tip, man. I think we missed a hot tip because, man, Diddy probably had that Johnson & Johnson stock going so high. Man, probably getting dividends because of Diddy alone. Here's the thing, guys. That's what they found the residents. How many other houses that Diddy's had, they probably went through all that goddamn baby oil. Man, oh, man. Let's scroll down here. JD says, whatever they said he did that shit. Yeah, come on, JD. Stop playing, man. Hey, man, we're going to get into it. Jeff says, Hollywood Diddy's is not my guy. Okay. Oh, you coming under the Painful Exes podcast too, says Drew. What's going on, Chef? And Bear Cave. Got all three in the business there. That's what's up, Drew. Let's see here. Pool man back in the house. What's going on, Peter? Good to see you, Peter. Back in the house here. Derek says, boo, I'm here for TNT Sports Talk. Hey, man. I'll give you some sports talk, Derek. Isn't it Thursday night football tonight? There you go. Is your boy Jamar Chase pissed off and he ain't got a new contract? Once again, Cincinnati Bengals on that jankiness. There you go. There's your sports talk, all right? I humored you for a few moments here. Your Bengals suck. They ain't paying their players again, and y'all losing. Happy? What's going on, Lorenzo? No more Johnson & Johnson. It's P. Diddy. It's Pity and Diddy baby oil. I like it. Yeah, more than 2 bottles of Johnson's it's a violation. That's true. Hey, Drew, so let me get this right here. So if you own, okay, bathroom check. Bathroom check. If we go to anybody's house who is watching this live or ninja watching, replay gang, if you got more than 2 bottles of baby oil, Drew is saying that's a major violation. Hey, man, come on, Drew. You need to stop, man. You need to stop with that. He said that's a violation. Hey, come on, man, stop playing. Jeff says, Amazon driver who delivered that must have been laughing. He didn't deliver all at once, Jeff. There was multiple trips, multiple deliveries. That wasn't a one-time stop. You know what I mean? Yeah, Johnson stock going down. They mad now. So Black Knight Entertainment, a Suge Knight production presents R. Kelly and Diddy, the Kidler and the Diddler. Hey, come on, man. You wildin', Thomas. Stop playing, man. Vegas, the capital of BBL's a Squeegee Kid. Yeah, I can say that now. I say, no, Vegas and Miami. That's like 1A, 1B. Matter of fact, I would say Miami. Squeegee Kid, Miami 1A, Vegas 1B. Because the beaches. All right, you got the desert in Vegas, but you got to understand all the beaches in Florida, in Miami, right? So they can wear the bikinis and they can expose the BBLs, right? They can showcase what they paid for, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm going to go Miami 1, Vegas 2. Diddy, a whole new meaning to Jiffy Lube. God dizzle y'all going in. What's going on, Clifton? I guess black ancestors can no longer take groupies on the road without catching federal RICO charges. Hey, man, we going to talk about that too because I think y'all we're going to get into it. Some of my talking points may sound like I'm supporting Diddy. Hell no, right? I'm calling it straight down the middle. But we got to look at some guys. If this goes down with Diddy, if any of y'all on that flew out tour, you got your ladies, you flew them out. This is the big stepping stone. They coming out after all y'all dusty ninjas who flying out the Pookeishas for the booty. Oh, yeah. If they find out, guys, this goes down, we're going to get into it. If you out here flying chicks just for the purpose of getting that ass, they're implementing the Mann Act again, guys. Oh, yeah, Diddy's going to be the representative. We're going to talk about it, guys. We're going to get into it in a second. Let me see here. Who else in the building? I have cocoa butter. What the hell, Derek? Oh, man. What the hell are you talking about over here? The diddler might not make it out of lockup. We're going to talk about that too, man. We're going to get into that too. Yeah. Okay, guys. We'll see. Hopefully notifications go out. We'll see how this goes down here. We're going to get into this Diddy stuff here. Also, too, I'm waiting for, there's a current situation going on in the New York courtroom right now. So I'm trying to find out, I'm actually monitoring, see if there's going to be news that's popping up here. So if some news does break, guys, I'm going to be all on it. Okay, if some news breaks, I'm gonna be all on it, guys. And if y'all see something before me, just shoot me a link and then we'll be all on it together, right? Birds of a feather flock together. Thomas says Cassie snitch. That's an understatement. That's a big ass understatement. Anybody associated with him will get caught in a whole chain effect. Yeah, man. Okay, guys, let's get into it. Y'all ready to talk about this here? I'm ready to talk here. Likes up in the building. Oh, yeah. Before I forget, I should announce it here. Shout out to the Ninja Watchers. I didn't do the last few live streams. Shout out to my Ninja Watchers. Y'all can't talk. Y'all working. Y'all driving. Y'all taking care of your kids. You know, you probably got a banshee-ass woman that she don't want you to hear what I'm talking about here. So, you know, you got the earbuds in because you don't want to hear her mouth. I get it. Whatever is going on with my Ninja Watchers, shout out to you guys, man. Y'all help keep the lights on as well. Shout out to hashtag Replay Gang. All right, some of y'all can't be here live. I get that, but you know what though? You put me on when you wake up, you get off work, you get done driving, you gotta keep it moving here, and you're like, yo, I need about 3 or 4 hours of content. I don't feel like flipping from video to video. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna holler at that dude. So that's what y'all doing here. So shout out to the Replay Gang here. Y'all also help keep the lights on too as well, guys. And also, shout out to everybody that's here live right now, the AIC, the tribe members, the Ain't-ish crew, y'all wrench gang in the house here. We about to get this started here, guys. So shout out to everybody. And like I said, you can support the channel. Come on, guys. Wrench gang, you know, make sure we keep the diddlers out of the chat here. And also super chat, super thanks, super stickers, as well as Cash App. All right, guys. Let's do this here. Let's do this here. I got a few things I want to discuss here, right? We're going to go over the complaint. But before we do all this here, I want you guys to understand a few things. No, I am not a lawyer, but we do have people who rock with us who are lawyers and understand the law. So as soon as I see them come into the chat, and if I have some questions, I'm gonna direct it to them. So no, I am not a legal professional, but the one thing I am is I'm a middle-aged black man. So that makes me a certified paralegal. Okay? I don't know if you understand this or not, right? I am not a lawyer, but I am a middle-aged black man. So that means that I am a certified paralegal, okay? I can see some dumb stuff happen a mile away, be like, don't do that, nigga, I'll give you 5 to 10. Where'd that joke come from? I know I took that one, don't care. Hope y'all got that laugh at that one. Anyways, though, I'm a grown man, and I can use reasoning and logic to see things that's gonna happen here. We don't have all the details, but we're gonna go through them as we go. Let me add another thing here, guys. This ain't gonna be ending no time soon. I want you guys to understand the understood. We gonna be here for about a year. Do you guys understand that? Wait a minute, I don't know if you guys understand that here. We're gonna be here for about a year. This ain't gonna be no speedy trial situation. This ain't gonna be like, you know, they got him, and then we're gonna go through a few weeks of some dick-nanigans, and then we got October of Halloween, and then we're gonna go through Thanksgiving and stuff like that, and then next year, you know, we're gonna go through the holidays, you know, and then as soon as top of the year, New Year's happens, it's shit gonna be over. Hell to the no. We're gonna go through fall. We're going to go through the holidays in wintertime. We're going to be back up in springtime. We're going to be back in the summertime next year. And this is going to be going down, guys. So I just want you guys to understand, this is not no short saga. This is about to be one of them Lord of the Rings mythical travels. You know what I'm saying? To go see, we gotta burn this thing here. We got to destroy it. We got to make this travel to the road here, right? It's going to be a while, guys. We ain't going nowhere. We got a little minute here. So that's why we need to take our time and dissect it here, right? We're not gonna get all the answers today, but we're gonna go through it here. Another thing too, guys, another thing I wanna add with this whole Diddy. Like I said, wanna say it again, Diddy is either gonna be in jail or Epstein. I hate to say it, I'm fast forwarding, and we're gonna bring it back to the present. The fast forward is he's gonna spend the rest of his days in Brooklyn lockup. Or you know what though? We're gonna be in about a couple of years from now, we're gonna have some Spotify, Apple Music days playing a whole bunch of bad boy music. I'm telling y'all, that's what we got going on here. Showing Up says the new season of House of Dragons will be out by then. Hey, you know what, brother? I think you're right. I think we'll see House of Dragons before we see a Diddy trial finish completion here. Who knows? You know, shout out to George R.R. Martin. You know what I mean? What's going on, All Manines? What's going on, Reggie? Good to see you. So come on, son. What you saying? Come on, son. Said baby oil stock just dropped. Short sale now, fam. Hey man, we're gonna get into it. So, as you guys know, Diddy got arrested. Saw the writing on the wall. No bail. There's a whole bunch of stuff that is happening, and I want to level set a few things here, right? Basically, what the United States government against Sean P. Diddy, Brother Love, Diddy, Daddy, whatever you want to call him, P. Diddy Combs, in so many words, they are saying since the end of 2008, 2009, up until last year, 2023, he was not a music producer. I mean, he was, but we're going to get into it. They're just saying he technically wasn't a music producer. He wasn't an actor. He wasn't a brand ambassador. You know, he wasn't a mogul businessman. Diddy was Mr. Nasty Man who was doing all his escapades in the business, the music, the brand ambassadors, all the stuff that made him a billionaire supposedly was a front for the Dick Nanigans. Yeah, guys. Yeah. They're going hard in the paint. Another thing we want to add to when you look at all the information that's going down right now, there is no charge of assault. No charge of assault. No. What we got here in this case, guys, is I'm starting to understand. I'm not a lawyer, but this is a racketeering case here, guys. Racketeering and arson. Shout out to Kid Cudi. If y'all wondering, like, Dave, arson? Yeah. The arson involves Kid Cudi, allegedly. Okay? Even though they don't got Kid Cudi in the complaint, allegedly, the arson is about Kid Cudi, allegedly. But they're making it seem like that from the last 15 years, the money that he was making, that was already like a full-blown machine. He got his gears going. He got the machine going. He got power. He got money, and everything's funneling. That's just running in the background so that he can run his big old shindig. And the word of the day, guys, is what? Freak-offs. Yes, freak-offs. Freak-offs it is. So here's what I want to do, guys. I want to go through a series of videos just to start the conversation going, right? And then we're really going to get into it. So the first video that I want to bring up here is his lawyer talking yesterday. I want to bring his lawyer talking up so we can get caught up here. Vince says, no statute on murder, Dave. It's not in the complaint. Y'all don't get it. There is no murder in the complaint. It's racketeering. There's no assault charges in the complaint, right? So that's what we got to understand. So all the heinous videos that we saw in the hotel room earlier this year with Diddy and Cassie and how he was throwing stuff at her and dragging her, unfortunately, just seeing that heinous act, that was despicable, guys. As much as whatever we think about what we think about either party there is not a situation that should happen there. But you say not yet, Vince, but if they were going to have that, they would have had that by now. All right? That's the big one, right? If you're going to have all these charges, you're going to throw them all together here. You're not going to wait for that later there, especially how they grandstanded here. Because nothing with the grandstand, what they're doing here is they wanted the big old perp walk. Because Diddy did fly to New York on the basis of turning himself in, but then they jumped the gun to go ahead and arrest him because of the way that the bail system works here. So they're trying to they're making a big spectacle of this here. I'm not defending him. But we gotta understand, whenever we see a black man who's had a lot of money, you know what they're gonna do. They're really gonna go ahead and put the gavel down. So here's what I wanna do here. I wanna play the first video of his lawyer. Let's get the conversation started. Let's play the first video of his lawyer outside the steps here and get that going here, right? So let's go ahead. Give me 1 second here. Hold on 1 second. Where are we at? There we go. Let's get this here.
So this was the first step. We have a bail appeal scheduled for tomorrow at 3:30 in front of Judge Carter, the district judge assigned to this case. I think that we made the points that we've been wanting to make. I think he came out. Mr. Combs is a fighter. He's going to fight this to the end. He's innocent. He came to New York to establish his innocence. He's not afraid. He's not afraid of the charges. There's nothing that the government said in their presentation today that changes anyone's mind about anything. He's been looking forward to this day. He's been looking forward to clearing his name, and he's going to clear his name. And we're going to stand by his side as he does. We believe in him wholeheartedly. He didn't do these things. This was a 10-year relationship. There's no coercion. There's no crime. There's basically just, someone who brought a civil case and now is finding themselves as a witness in a criminal case. And we're going to fight this case with everything we have, as is he. And eventually he's going to be shown to be innocent. And so tomorrow we fight again, and we'll fight every day until we don't have to fight anymore. I don't know. The question is, why did it happen last night instead of today? I don't know the answer to that question. I just want to make one point very clear. We have no power. All we can do is show good faith.
Hold on, guys. I think we're about to go live here. We're about to go live. We're going live, guys. I'm stopping this video. We're going live. 1 second.
We're not giving up by a long shot. I told Mr. Combs
we're live now, guys.
I'm going to try and get his case to trial as quickly as possible. I'm going to try and minimize the amount of time he spends in very, very difficult and I believe inhumane housing conditions in the special housing unit of the Metropolitan Detention Facility.
And I can't get the volume up any louder there.
To move his case as quickly as possible. I understand that the government has a great amount of electronic devices that they have to download and provide to me, but everything's on the government's timetable, nothing's on the defendant's timetable, and they're going to have to accommodate me and him and give us a quick trial, and I'm going to be pushing for that. He's ready, he's focused. He has been ready to defend this case since he first found out about this case. Nothing has changed from his perspective. I obviously would much prefer to fight this case with him out of jail, and we are going to try to bring that about through additional legal process. But wherever he is, his resolve is the same. He believes he's innocent. I believe he's innocent, and we're going to fight this case with all of our might until we don't have to fight any longer. I'm not really going to take any questions, but at this point, we are moving forward. We're preparing for trial as we speak, and we are considering our next steps and appealing the court's ruling to me today. All right. Thank you all very much. I really appreciate it. You're doing good.
That's all they gave us?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, it's coming back.
So in the past, Essex County, New Jersey, it's a county facility, but it has a contract with the federal government, and you can get a certain number of federal inmates in Essex County, New Jersey. And in my experience, it's an easier place to deal with. I think it's better for the person being housed there, and it's easier to get access, to him. I mean, one of the hardest things when you're preparing for a very significant trial with a great deal of discovery is you want your client to be able to have access to, the electronic discovery. Nothing nowadays is in paper form. Everything's electronic. So you need to make sure that your client has access to a computer and that he can look at the discovery, that comes in. So that was my idea. All right. I'm going to go. Thank you. He's good. Thank you.
Oh, he was short. Is anybody else going to talk? Or that's it? I think we're good on that. Okay, guys. Let me go ahead and change that. I got some more stuff to talk about there. So, like we know in here, guys, it's going to be no bail. It's going to be no bail. The ironic thing is, before even the hearing today, and when they got denied by the magistrate, was it yesterday? His lawyer and Diddy's team presented up to like $50 million in assets, stating that, I won't come in contact with no women unless it's my own personal family, like my daughters, no women, and I'm going to put up all this money, and they said no. Some people may clapping, some people may say this. That lasts about as long as my last relationship with Squeegee Kid. Hell yeah, man. He's on the clock right now. You know what I'm saying? He's like, we got to get to work. He's locked up right now. We got to figure out how to get this man home here. But We see what they're doing here, guys. Oh, trust. That's another update today. That was last night, so they could have presented an extra $25 million, right? Because Diddy got it. Assets, homes, money, whatever could have been presented. That have been the case here, but they're saying no because you know why? They want to make an example. They want to make a lesson here out of Diddy here, no matter what you think about the situation. And let's just add another level of expectations here, guys. Remember R. Kelly about a year or two ago? Might as well times that by 15, y'all. Remember R. Kelly about a year or two ago? Times that by 15. And also, too, and Wes, we're going to get into it as I play a few more things as we all get caught up here right now. Hollywood is shaking in their boots right now. Not only is Hollywood shaking their boots right now, I want to pose a question out there to the people. And y'all might think this is conspiracy brother Jones here talking. I know, Dave, I'm not a conspiracy person. I don't like doing that, but something just seems kind of odd here, guys. Something seems a little weird. I want y'all to think about this for a second. Just think about it. Just ponder me for a second. Turn your volumes up just for a few seconds here, and I want you to understand this here. It is September, 18th today as we're doing this here. The election is less than 2 months away. Talk about a hot arrest case that can be put out in front right before the election cycle kicks in here when we get ready to vote in November. Diddy's been a long time Democrat. Remember back in 2004? Vote or die? Remember that? Hold on. Let me fast forward now. I'm not trying to do too much info. I'm not trying to throw so much information out. There's a lot today, right? I don't know if you remember this. Back in 2020, Diddy had a little bit of, little bit of angst, a little bit of, I'm slowing the Democrats right now. Y'all want to pull up I ain't do it right now. You can pull up the interview where he says, I'm holding my vote hostage until I see what Biden's gonna do. He wasn't talking like that for any other Democratic campaign up until this point here. All of a sudden, when he says, I'm holding my vote hostage, it's not just his vote. He's talking about his coalition of people here. So the tea leaves were kind of breaking on the Democrats and how he was supporting them. So I want you to just humor me this for a second here. Who in the hell did he piss off in the Democrats to take his black ass down right now? You think the Republicans did this here? The Republicans got nothing to gain messing with Diddy here. The Green Party and Jill Steins ain't got nothing to do with this here. They ain't got nothing to gain bringing Diddy down. But the Democrats had the biggest thing to lose if Diddy may have had something on a few tapes. Maybe there's a few people at a few parties. And then, maybe in the last 4 years since Biden ran, there's been a little bit of hostility and not so much agreement. Maybe the funding of super PACs was not going through and he was getting a little bit of pissed off over here saying, what's going on? And then all of a sudden, right before the election, we got him. That's not the only thing, guys. I just want to throw that out there to you guys, right? Who in the hell in the Democratic Party did he pissed off? And who was the coalition of people that green light saying, let Puffy go? We got what we want out of him. We don't need him no more. I'm just saying, it may not be, but it's something to think about here. So Justin Bieber was a victim for sure. The video showed him so uncomfortable. Oh yeah, Mary. Bieber been diddled. Allegedly. I'm gonna say that right now. Yep, Cat Williams called it. It's a problem when your money ain't no good to them white folk. It's a problem when they don't need you no more. Cause think about this here too, guys. What do they got to gain by letting Diddy go? Cause whenever you got to cut someone loose, whenever you got someone who's a big ally, who got money, power, resources, and got stuff on other people, but you find a way to take him down, get rid of him, you got to say to yourself, who is the coalition of powerful people that says, we don't need him no more? We don't need him no more. He's got to go. Nah, some people are going to take the fall, but we don't need him no more. Another thing we got to add too, guys. If anybody was at any Diddy party, whether you were involved in any dick-nanigans or not, you're going to get a call from the po-po. The feds is calling, okay? If they got you on video, even if you was just there, even if you was just drinking some apple juice like I'm drinking right now, you getting a phone call. You got to show up, baby. And so I'm also wondering, too, a case this big, Diddy ain't going down alone unless he gets Epsteined. That's why I said earlier, he's either going to serve the rest of his days in jail or he's Epstein here. But here's a problem. This kind of situation with that much recorded information, devices, videos, audio that they confiscated, as we're going to get into, is he going to get Epstein? Is he going to live the rest of his days in jail? Because he ain't going down alone. You got to understand, this is a racketeering case, guys. This is a RICO case, guys. One person ain't going down for this. Unless they got 25-hour, 8-day-a-week surveillance so that they don't find this man mysteriously deleted in his cell, basically on a 2-foot hanging. Hey, man. I'm just saying, we got it. Even though that we know that we've seen the stories, and I almost found myself at a Diddy party, guys. Yeah, let me just say it for the record before someone try to bring it up. I told y'all, JD, you was there too, for it too as well. My 30th birthday party, we were in Vegas. We were kicking it hardcore. We were drinking. I was drunk out of my goddamn mind. I drank Everclear. Remember, JD, if you're still out there? Remember I had all the drinks of Everclear, and we had Long Islands, we had whiskeys, and all of a sudden then we was like, yo, Diddy got a party at the Palms, and y'all didn't see me in there. You know why? I was too goddamn drunk. I couldn't get out of the taxi cab. It happened in 2010, guys. So I could have been in one of the complaints. Wait a minute. Oh, I thought about something here. JD, did you guys go to the party? Did you guys go? Hey, JD, you remember that weekend. JD, did you guys go into the Palms and go to that party? Remember the next day, I was too drunk and I pulled up in my taxi and I couldn't get out the taxi. I said, take my black ass back to the Vidara. We stayed at the Vidara that weekend. JD, I got to ask you a question, brother. Did you get into that Diddy party? Because you might be on one of them surveillance tapes. The feds might be calling you, JD. The feds might be calling you and the whole crew. Hey, JD, did you see baby oil that weekend? JD, did you see baby oil and lubricants? Because, hey, you were there, brother. You were there. Did you go inside? I just need to know. I wasn't there, guys. I was too drunk. I couldn't make it. I didn't make it. JD, you got to ask me that. You got to keep that on the low. We didn't end up going. We got to the door but got rejected. Okay, JD. I'm glad you can tell me that now. All right, because I was about to say, brother, the feds might be calling you. The feds might be calling you because I didn't make it in. I was too drunk. I didn't make it. That was a good weekend, JD. Anyway, guys, what I want to do, I want to go over the complaint and I want to go over the charges right now, right? So let's do that right now. I want to play that and we're gonna react to it. I want to go over the complaint because, man, the word of the day is freak off. The word of the day is freak off. Okay, guys? So let's do it. Let's bring it on the screen here. Let's cook. Let's react.
The indictment to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice. Let me say a little bit more about the charges. The indictment alleges that Combs abused and exploited women and other people for years, and in a variety of ways. As alleged, Combs used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sexual performances with male commercial sex workers, some of whom he transported or caused to be transported over state lines. Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics, such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant. As alleged, when Combs didn't get his way, he was violent, and he subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse so that they would participate in the freak-offs, and that Combs hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims, at times by their hair. On one occasion in March of 2016, that conduct was captured on video and later reported in the media. Specifically, Combs kicked, dragged, and threw a vase at a victim in a Los Angeles hotel when the victim was attempting to flee.
He's talking about Cassie, but that's not part of the complaint, guys. Of course, what they're doing is they're going down the lengthy list of items they're trying to showcase as Sean P. Diddy, Daddy, Love, Brother, whatever you want to call him, as a monster right now.
As alleged, these assaults often resulted in injuries to the victims, which took days or weeks to heal. In addition to the violence, the indictment alleges that Combs threatened and coerced victims to get them to participate in the freak-offs. He used the embarrassing and sensitive recordings.
Wait, before we continue, we should play a drinking game, guys. Every time you hear freak off, take a shot, okay? Every time you hear freak off, take a shot. I guarantee you'll be drunk before this live stream ends.
He made of the freak-offs as collateral against the victims. And the indictment alleges that he maintained control over the victims in several ways, including by giving them drugs, by giving and threatening to take away financial support or housing, by promising them career opportunities, by monitoring their whereabouts, and even by dictating their physical appearance. Because of all of this, the indictment alleges that the victims did not believe they could refuse Combs without risking their security or facing more abuse. The indictment also alleges other acts of violence undertaken by Combs and others, including violence against witnesses to his abuse, kidnapping, and arson. The indictment alleges that on more than one occasion, Combs carried or brandished firearms to intimidate and threaten victims and witnesses. Now, Combs did not do this all on his own. As I mentioned, Combs has been charged with RICO conspiracy. He used his business and employees of that business and other close associates to get his way. Those individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors in the business, personal assistants, security staff, and household staff.
A lot of folks gonna be dropping dimes. A lot of people underneath, the little underlings, the yes men, the gophers, they going down, but also too, best friends who are hand in hand and probably coordinating these parties. This is just the beginning here, guys. That's why we gotta say, I'm saying the word Epstein, because there is too many big hitters, too many powerful names, because this is not a solo thing here. It may have been his thing with the freak-offs here, but they're over 15 plus years, multiple people are involved. People are right now shivering me in their boots right now. Let's go.
The indictment alleges that those individuals facilitated the freak-offs. They booked the hotel rooms and stocked them with the supplies, including drugs, baby oil, personal lubricant, extra linens, and lighting. When the hotel rooms got damaged, they helped clean it up. They arranged for victims and commercial sex workers to travel for the freak-offs, and they delivered large quantities of cash to Combs to pay for the commercial sex workers. The indictment also alleges that they helped Combs cover up his crimes. During the March 2016 incident at the LA hotel that I mentioned earlier, a member of the hotel security staff intervened, and Combs attempted to bribe the staff member with a stack of cash to make sure that what happened was kept quiet. And as the indictment alleges, in late 2023, after public allegations were made about Combs' crimes, he and others pressured witnesses and victims to stay silent, including by making phone calls to witnesses and victims and giving them a false narrative of what they had experienced. And as alleged, Combs used others to help conceal his abuse by monitoring and preventing victims from leaving a location in order to hide their injuries, or by locating and contacting a victim who had attempted to flee. As part of this investigation, In March of this year, special agents from HSI executed search warrants at Combs' residences in Miami and Los Angeles. They also executed a warrant for Combs' electronic devices. During those searches, agents seized evidence of the crimes charged in this indictment. They seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 defaced AR-15s and a large capacity drum magazine.
I'm not worried about the guns. Of course, that's going to be in there. Of course, about the gun violence and the bang, bang, shoot them up there. That's easily able to get that on some security or some bodyguard thing of that nature. Correct me if I'm wrong, any legal minds experts out there, but something like this here, I was in his residence. I'm just saying though, they're going to have that in there. We got guns, we got magazines, we got AR-15s. You can get someone to take that one. They're in my house, but that's my bodyguard stuff. So I just want to throw that in there too for the legal minds trying to drop some charges off of him.
They also seized evidence of the freak-offs. Electronic devices that contain images and videos of the freak-offs with multiple victims. And they seized cases and cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs. More than 1,000 bottles altogether.
Hey, hold on, guys. Let's correct the math here. I kept saying 1,000 bottles of baby oil. He said more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil. So we don't know the exact number. It could be 1,100. It could be 1,200. It could be 1,300. It could be 1,001. The point is, it ain't just 1,000. That's just a nice round number that they rounded off to. It could be 1,500 bottles of baby oil. The thing is, it's more than 1,000. Man. I'm still trying to understand, like my man Drew said earlier, if anybody who has more than 2 bottles of baby oil in their crib, that's a violation. And you know what, though? Something else is going on here right now. Because even though we black folks can be ashy as hell, it takes us a long time to go through baby oil. So to have more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil, how much lathering were they doing? How much slapping skins were they doing? How much cheek clapping was going on? Men and women. Let's continue.
Here are some of the items that we recovered during the searches.
A lot of
As you can see here, this is a drum magazine, large capacity.
15 years, at least.
And it contains, I believe, 59 rounds. I mentioned as well, we recovered 3 AR-15s. This is a close-up shot of one of the AR-15s, and you can see right here, the serial number has been thoroughly defaced. Another picture of more ammunition and parts of 2 AR-15s right there. Now, I want to be clear about 2 things. First, this office is determined to investigate and prosecute anyone who engages in sex trafficking, no matter how powerful or wealthy or famous you may be. No one should doubt our commitment on that. A year ago, Sean Combs stood in Times Square and was handed a key to New York City. Today, he's been indicted and will face justice in the Southern District of New York.
I'm curious, does you guys get the key back now? Hey guys, if you get the key of a town, like literally a year ago, Diddy got the key of New York, bad boy, he over here doing the Diddy bop. He over here dancing, he got the key to the city and everything. Do you gotta get the key back when you get arrested like this? You know what I mean? Like, does the mayor come? He says, give me this back. Does he debo it? He said, give me this goddamn key back. You don't get the key to the city. It's mine, Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Do you debo it back? I want to know. Inquiring minds want to understand. Yeah, Eric Adams, the mayor. Thank you, Trust. Does Eric Adams come through, Trust, and then he just take the key back? He said, give me this, Diddy. I'm going to take that key. Hey, I'm just curious, guys. Inquiring minds want to know.
Second, we are not done. This investigation is ongoing.
We're not done,
and I encourage
y'all.
anyone with information about this case to come forward and to do it quickly. Anyone with information can call 1-877-4HSI-TIP. I want to express my deep appreciation for the victims and witnesses who have used their voices and helped bring this criminal conduct to light. We would not be here without them. I also want to thank the dedicated case agents, on the HSI Trafficking in Person Squad in New York. They have been with us since day one and have worked tirelessly on this investigation. They will continue to be invaluable partners to us. I also want to thank the incredible agents and analysts from SDNY who have also provided tremendous assistance on this case. I'm deeply grateful for their continued work. And finally, I want to thank the outstanding career prosecutors from SDNY who are handling this case. Meredith Foster, Emily Johnson, Chrissy Slavic, Madison Smizer, and Mitzi Steiner, and their supervisors, Jamie Backleeper and Jacqueline Kelly. They are members of the Civil Rights Unit in our criminal division. We created the Civil Rights Unit when I became U.S. Attorney. I'm deeply proud of their work on this and so many other cases. I'll now take some questions.
Aaron Katursky, ABC.
Good point.
Thanks, Nick. Damian, thanks. The indictment describes aggressive, open, violent, hedonistic abuse that you say was recurrent and widely known. Why did it take law enforcement so long to intervene? How many women were victimized by Sean Combs, and how many others were involved?
Look, our investigation is ongoing. We are committed to bringing justice to everyone who's been victimized by the defendant. I can't tell you why it took so long. I think the better focus is on the fact that we are here today. And we are committed to making sure that justice is done. Next question.
Thank you. Julia Ainsley, NBC.
Thank you for doing this. You said we are not done and that Combs did not do this alone. Do you foresee that there could be other charges related to this case?
I'm not taking anything off the table.
Janet Fisher, Newsday.
What's the difference between the sex trafficking and promoting travel for the purpose of prostitution?
Well, there are different crimes with different elements. I don't think we should get into the nitty-gritty of the legal discussion right now, but the sex trafficking, we believe, they're all serious offenses, but the sex trafficking conduct carries some significant penalties, and we are gratified that we were able to bring that charge.
Is one more coercive than the other?
I'm not going to be able to get into that, but you can look it up, and yes, sex trafficking, especially when it involves coercion or force, is a very serious crime, and it carries significant penalties.
Good afternoon, Darla Miles, ABC 7 New York. Thank you for this press conference and for the details. Two questions. In context of this indictment and the information that was presented to the grand jury, are you able to clarify the number of victims? It's mentioned plural in the indictment, but can you specify the number of victims just for this particular indictment? And secondly, can you provide details about the alleged arson?
Unfortunately, I'm not able to provide either. The number of victims, you are correct. We are intentional in saying multiple. The details of the arson incident are limited to what we have in the indictment and also the detention letter that we filed, which contains more details than the indictment does at various points, but we don't have anything more beyond that.
Okay, that's the end of that video, guys. We're not done yet, guys. We're just getting started. We're just getting started, guys. I'm seeing y'all in the chat. Rod, what's going on, Rod? Glad you can come in here. We're going to go over the complaint in a second, guys. So Nicholas says Cassie was money hungry. Now it's a sex trafficking when they're all called girls. Hey, man, I hear you. I hear you. Rod said these acts were not all done in the darkness. Many powerful people are involved with this abominable behavior. Hey, man, I know. We're going to talk about that, man. Hey, before we move on, I didn't want to stop the segment here. Shout out to my man Snap Tech in the building. What's going on, Snap? Glad to have you back, man. Dropping the $2 holla, putting that blue in the chat saying, Diddy, no bell equals he already dead. NWO taking him out. Man, that's what I was saying here, Snap. There's only one or two options. Hey, first thing first, brother. Salud. Thank you for that, Hala. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Right back at you with the super. Hey, man, I said that, what I said to start the live stream off. I said there's only two endings. What's going to happen here? Now, I know he has his day in trial, and he's innocent until proven guilty. But we already know how this is going down here, guys. Either he spends the rest of his days in jail, or he's going to be Epstein. And a lot of us think, like we said here, he needs to be on 25-hour, 8-day-a-week watch because we still wondering how did Epstein off himself like that, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? So, but thank you for that, Snap Tech. I appreciate that, man. Says these acts were, Thomas says, someone snitch. Rod says, when we went against the company that distributes Ciroc, all this stuff started coming to light. Yeah, that, man. It's kind of funny how that Ciroc situation and then the triggering with Kazi and just the house of cards went down. So it makes you wonder, Rod. I haven't done much homework and research on this particular part yet, right? I want to know who is behind the people who run Ciroc or investors behind Ciroc because he never owned Ciroc. He was a brand ambassador. He never owned stock. They used him for all those years, and then he tried to get his ownership play and then went to battle with them, and then that's when all this house of cards went falling down. So I'm just kind of curious to understand who is behind Ciroc, who has investment in Ciroc, because that's when the tea leaves started coming down, guys. Vince says he didn't kill him. I know that, Vince. I know that, Vince. I'm just stating that, I'm on YouTube right now, okay? I'm trying to walk a fine line of a few things here. I know he didn't do it. I know he didn't off himself. I'm saying that's what they're going to try to make it look like when they get Diddy. That's why I'm saying he got to have 25-hour, 8-day-a-week surveillance here. You know what I mean? He going to jail or 7734. Damn, man. Shout out to my man Ellis in the building, dropping the $2 holla, putting the blue plates, guys. Let me say this on the record right now. I love it when y'all make the chat turn colors. My man Ellis, it's been a minute. How you doing, brother? Glad to see you, man. Dropping the $2 holla with the blue plates, guys. Go ahead and keep the plates passing. Doesn't matter if it's blue, red, yellow, orange. Show your love and support saying, what position do you think Stevie J played? God damn, Stevie J. Oh, my God, Ellis. Of all the things, Stevie J. Hey, hold on. Salud. Thank you for the holla. I appreciate you. Thank you. Right back at you with that super. I didn't even think about that yet, Ellis. This is going to be some crazy dick-nanigans. We're going to see Stevie J in hella court right now. Not now, coming up here. We're going to see this man testify. We're going to see this man in interviews. We're going to see him I can't believe that Stevie J's going to be a major player, guys. Guys, Stevie J is a major player in Diddy's association. And he's going to be up in this piece, man. Ellis, why'd you do that to me? I didn't want to hear nothing about no damn Stevie J. Lord, now we got to deal with Stevie J's ass now. Lord, isn't that a French company? I'm not sure, Mary. I don't know the background of Ciroc, if they're French or not. Probably. Pooh Man said the diddler will get fired in the cell like Dre and Power. Hey, man, don't do Diddy like that. Not that scene. They did. I couldn't stand Dre, but why they do him, burn him alive like that, man? That was messed up. Stevie D said Diddy felt untouchable. Man, take that. Ty, what's going on? It was Deleon tequila deal he was fighting for. Okay, thank you, Ty. Appreciate that. Rod says, when you step up and try to overstep your boundaries, they do you like this. And the Cosby not saying he isn't complicit, but they had all the info against you. Yeah, I see that, man. Diddy been powerful man in New York since the 90s. Yes, he has, Ty. Ellis said 25-8. Those cams are going to be turned off when the Goon Squad show the handle. Hey, that's what I'm saying, 25-8. 25-8, man. So the federal government is a joke. Trump traffic in my... said women and Puff got bail. No, Puff ain't got no bail. He ain't got no bail. Puffy locked up. Said zestfully fully clean. Hey, come on, man. Stop it, dog. Little Kim, Mary. Yeah, Little Kim. We're going to see Mary J. Of course, Cassie, J-Lo. Hey, guys. Know what's gonna crack me up? Meek Mill. Because the rumors going on with Meek Mill, allegedly, that Diddy is just karaticizing his ass, man. Allegedly. Because all we keep seeing, every time I go down Twitter and X and different timelines, all I see is Meek just in compromising videos and situations, and I'm scared to find out what they're going to say about Meek, guys. Lord have mercy. But here's what I want to do here. I want to go over the complaint. I'm not a lawyer, but we can understand a few things here when we look at this complaint, guys. I'm not a lawyer, but let's look at this complaint here. Oh, yeah. Let me make this a little bit bigger here on the screen. Can I make this a little bit bigger? Can I blow this up? Yes, we can. Yeah. All right here. Now, as you guys see on the screen, count one, racketeering conspiracy, y'all. That's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with racketeering and conspiracy, y'all. But look at the aliases they're going by. AKA Puff Daddy, AKA P. Diddy, AKA Diddy, AKA PD. Now, I don't know when the PD story, when was the PD era? Because I don't remember anybody calling him PD. I know Puffy, but I don't know PD. And also AKA Love. They got that wrong because he started off as Brother Love, but I guess they didn't want to deal with the both aliases, so they're just going just was Love here. Man, they got all his aliases up in here, man. So let me scroll down here. This is what I was talking about here. Count one. Just from the grand jury, guys. Look at this here. For decades, Sean Combs, a.k.a. Puff Daddy, a.k.a. P. Diddy, a.k.a. Diddy, a.k.a. PD, a.k.a. Love, the defendant abused, threatened, coerced women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. To do so, Combs relied on the employees, resources, influence of the multifaceted business empire that he led and controlled, creating a criminal enterprise whose members and associates engage in and attempt to engage in, among other crimes, sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. I'm going to fast forward here just to let you guys know. The arson again, that's regarding Kid Cudi, allegedly. That's regarding Kid Cudi, allegedly. Okay? Man, says Sean Combs, I can't go through those AKAs anymore. That's too damn long. The defendant operated his business, headquartered at various times in Manhattan and Los Angeles, under a variety of United States-based corporate entities, including Bad Boy Entertainment, Combs Enterprises, and Combs Global. Collectively, the Combs business, corporate entities, and the Combs business included, among other things, record labels, recording studio and apparel line, an alcoholic spirits business, a marketing agency, and a television network and media company. At all times relevant to the indictment, not reading all those names, guys, the defendant engaged in persistent and persuasive pattern of abuse towards women and other individuals. Dudes. The abuse was at times verbal, emotional, physical, and sexual. As part of this pattern of abuse, Combs manipulated women to participate in highly orchestrated performances of sexual activity with male commercial sex workers. Hold on, guys. Let me read that back again. As part of his pattern of abuse, Combs manipulated women to participate in highly orchestrated performances of sexual activity with male commercial sex workers. Male pros, guys. At times, Combs and others acting at his direction made arrangements for women and commercial sex workers to fly Combs' location. Combs ensured participation from the women by, among other things, obtaining and distributing narcotics to them and controlling their careers, leveraging his financial support, and threatening to cut off the same and using intimidations and violence. Let me pause there for a second. Let me pause there for a second, guys. Let me pause there for a second. Like I said earlier, what this complaint is saying in so many words. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm not going to go through every single part here. We're going to skim it. Basically, what we're seeing here is that the United States government is saying that Sean P. Diddy Combs built Combs Enterprises, Bad Boy, et cetera, corporations to build this multi-million-dollar enterprise business. But then the business, in so many words, they're saying, was a front for his sexual escapades and also what he was doing as far as coercing and manipulating and abusing people. That's the layman's terms in so many words, guys. What we're seeing here in the beginning part of this complaint here. They're saying that after 2008, from 2009 up into 2023, a period of 15 years, Diddy wasn't a music producer. I mean, he is, but he isn't. Diddy is a mogul. I mean, he is, but he isn't. I mean, Diddy is a brand ambassador. I mean, he is, but he isn't. What he actually is here is a sexual deviant that did things for his personal pleasure and arrangements. Not my words. Uncle Sam and the U.S. government, guys. Uncle Sam and the U.S. government. Before I move on here, let me get some of these supers here, guys. Let me go back to the big box here. We're going to get back to the complaint in a second here. Shout out to my man Ellis in the building, dropping the $2 holla, keeping the blue plays passing, guys. Keep the blue plays passing, saying, what position do you think Stevie J played? My man Ellis in the building. Hey, Ellis. Salud. Thank you for the holla. I appreciate you. Thank you. And right back at you with that super. What do I think that Stevie J played? Well, Stevie J's been there from Jump Street, guys. Stevie J has been a head top-notch producer, executive producer, man behind the boards, making music, musician since the early beginning days of Bad Boy. If you guys don't know, Stevie J is actually the godfather to Biggie Smalls' kid. Even though, Stephen J later on, he got with Faith and they broke up there, but that just tell you his, involvement in the corporation, the company, the people involved, him with Faith, Godfather, him with Diddy. He made a gang of beats that catapulted Bad Boy to the top there, right? And even after all these years, he's been Puffy's right-hand man. He's been there on the side, so he's a friend. But he's more than just a friend. He's a friend that knows a lot. And he's a friend that's seen a lot, and I wouldn't put it in past if there's any kind of guilt association there. There's a man who has actually done a lot too as well. So shout out to you, Ellis, on that one there. And also, Ellis came back with another $2 holla saying they gonna ask Young Miami, how did Diddy pee on her? Oh, man. Damn, come on, brother. Hey, man. First thing first, man. Salud. Thank you for the holla. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. And right back at you with that holla. Oh, yeah. Hey, Ellis, Young Miami is just the most recent woman that had like a public ongoing relationship with Diddy. Public, sexual relationship, however you want to call it, right? They already called her. She gonna be front and center on a whole bunch of extra line and questioning after they bring more people in to be arrested. Because if she was the number one side, because remember Diddy had a harem of women. He got another chick pregnant, like some Asian girl pregnant while he was with Young Miami, and she still took him back, right? So she was like the number one side chick. So for her being front and center, it's not about asking. It's a matter of what they asked her already and told her, when we call, your ass better pick up. Hey, man. Hey, thank you for that holla, man. Hey, what's going on? Hi, this is Dave. You saying, J Dilla changed my life as well, Dave. Salute. Yeah. Hey, reason why I'm wearing this shirt, guys, because I want to represent real hip-hop, and I think Dilla represents real hip-hop, and Diddy, I don't want to be associated with any kind of Diddy hip-hop right now. So, hey, man, it's all about Dilla, dog. Hey, I'm all about Dilla. He changed my life, man. So, I wore this for a reason. I don't want the Diddy stain. We talking about Diddy, but I don't want y'all to think I got that Diddy stain. Hey, man. So let's get back to the complaint here. I want to skim through a few more items, guys. Thank you for the holla, Ellis. Let me get back to the small box here so y'all can see what we got going on. I'm not going through all the complaint, guys. I just want to scroll down and go through a few other things. Here's another thing. Number 4, physical abuse. I'm not reading all his AKAs. The defendant was recurrent and widely known on numerous occasions from at least or about 2009 and continued for years. Combs assaulted women by, among other things, striking, punching, dragging, throwing down objects, kicking them. These assaults were at times witnessed by others, including one instance at a Los Angeles hotel in March of 2016. This is the Cassie incident here. But here's the thing. This is not the charge of assault. This is under racketeering, and this is part of the complaint here. So that's just, again, repeating what was going on with Cassie here, but they didn't put her name in. Now, here's another thing that I want to bring up. Combs Enterprises. From 2008 to the filing, they're saying around 2023 last year, the defendant, others known and unknown, were members associates of the criminal organization. Hold on, guys. This is what I'm talking about here. Right there. That's what I'm talking about. Right there. They are saying right there in the complaint that Bad Boy is no longer a music entity, production, whatever you think that P. Diddy does. We've seen him since like the late 80s when he was on Uptown up until we started Bad Boy in the early 90s, right? They're calling this whole situation, guys, right there in black and white that got highlighted, a criminal organization. This is the part where they throw the RICO in, guys. This is why we got a RICO charge here. In a RICO conspiracy, if you can charge one, you can charge them all. So they're trying to put this under one big ass umbrella to lock up a gang of people. But here's the thing though, when you get a RICO charge here like this, right? It ain't just people that's gonna be associated under Combs Enterprises or people that work for them. Just imagine if people who were there, who may have been working for them, but they were in on it. T. Orlando in the building. Hey, brother, I may need you to click the link, man. You don't got a camera up, but I'm gonna need your lawyer advice. T. Orlando's a very smart brother. He's one of the biggest trolls in YouTube land. But T. Orlando, I don't know if you've seen the complaint. I don't know how much information you read up on this, but I might need your legal advice or at least your commentary from being a sound legal expert. I can call you that. T. Orlando is a sound, smart legal expert. He's saying, I've been said he should have left to go Costa Rica. Oh yeah, I want to talk about that too. So let me go back to the complaint here, guys. Let me scroll back down. We're not going through the whole thing. I just want to maintain a couple of things here. The purposes of Combs Enterprises. The purposes of Combs Enterprises include the following: operating a global business in the media, entertainment, and lifestyle industries, including, among other things, record labels, recording studio, apparel line, alcoholic spirits businesses, market agency, and television network and media company. I'm only reading that because on the previous paragraphs above, they're saying that all these companies are under the umbrella of a criminal organization. I just want to I want you guys to hit that home. They're saying everything that he owns now, what he makes money off of, they're all under the umbrella. They all fall under the premise that this is basically a front for his freak-offs. You haven't read it yet, T. Orlando? Well, we're going into real time right now. Calling it Combs Enterprises is genius. You need an enterprise for a RICO charge. That's what I was just mentioning earlier, T. Orlando. That's what I was mentioning. Yep. Let's scroll down here. Let's go a little bit more into the complaint here, guys. I don't want to go through all of this here. Part D of the enterprise complaint: preserving, protecting, promoting, and enhancing the power of the Combs Enterprises, including the power of his leader, Combs, through violence, use of firearms, threat of violence, coercion, verbal, emotional, physical, and sexual abuse. E, fulfilling the personal desires of Combs, particularly those related to Combs' sexual gratification, including through the exploitation of women and the use of commercial sex workers. F, enabling Combs and other members and associates of the Combs Enterprise to engage in unlawful acts of violence, including sexual violence, sex trafficking, forced labor, interstate transportation for purposes of prostitution, coercions of enticing engage in prostitution, narcotics distribution, and other crimes, and concealing the commission of such acts. Let me pause there, guys. Let me pause there. I said a lot there. Let me pause there. What you saying here, T. Orlando? Real quick, Dave, scroll down to let me see who signed the indictment. All right, hold on. I'm on page 5. I'll come back to that. Damian Williams, T. Orlando. Do you know Damian Williams, T. Orlando? Let me know. I'm going back up now. Do you know who Damian Williams, T. Orlando? I know you be in these spaces, dog. This is your space. Let me go back up here, guys. Where did I leave off at page 5? Okay. Yeah, let me go back there. I had to pause there for a second there. What we said there. Did y'all get that? That's on the screen here right now? We're not legal. I got a legal mind here. Oh, wait, you know him? Hold on. T. Orlando knows the guy here? Not Damien. Okay, T. Orlando. I'm gonna need some info on him. Oh, damn. Hey, T. Orlando knows what he's talking about. He be in these spaces, guys. He ain't no law clerk. All right. That's what Rico does, says Vince. Yeah. Guys, this is a lot here in this complaint right now. Let me just pause that for a second. Let that sink in. Securing absolute loyalty from members of the Combs Enterprise, including through acts and violence and threats. Guys, Hey, T. Orlando, have you ever heard of a complaint that had so much wording about sexual gratification? I'm just kind of curious, T. Orlando. Have you seen a complaint in the past that talks so heavy about sexual gratification that supersedes his business model? That's what we're talking about here. Ross is the Diddy cult. He says, they are releasing the hounds he has cooked. Yeah, they are, man. Let's scroll down even more, guys. Hold on, we got more. Look at this section here. Means and methods of the enterprise. I'm not reading his name again, guys. I'm not going through 2,200 names. The defendant and other members of associates of the Combs Enterprise conducted and participated in the conduct of the affairs of the Combs Enterprise, including the following. Combs and other members and associates of Combs Enterprise wielded the power and prestige of Combs' role at the Combs business to intimidate, threaten, and lure female victims into Combs' orbit, often under the pretense of a romantic relationship. Combs then used force, threats of force, coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sex acts with male commercial sex workers that Combs referred to as, among other things, freak-offs. Let me pause there, guys. So basically what we got going on here, more in the complaint here, is that he lied, convinced, manipulated, coerced women to thinking that they're going to be in these sexual relationships, going to be in these type of romantic engagement with Diddy, but then he do the bait and switch. He would hire male pros, and these women would have to engage in certain acts with these male pros, other something bad would have happened. Wow. Wow, 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 guys. Wow. Wait, what are you saying here? He says, hell yes, I used to prosecute sexual harassment claims. You always put all the dirt in the pleadings. Thank you. See, I didn't know that, T. Orlando. Thank you for that information. I was kind of curious because I didn't understand why they would put that in there. I was curious if you saw that. Multiple day freak-offs. Yes, sir. That actually went down. Manor says, I bet his son's diss track is going to be brought up in the case as well. Oh, yeah, we just getting started. We using the term victim real loosely here. Yes, we are. Let's scroll down here. I'm gonna get some more into this, guys. Let's keep reading. Freak-offs were elaborate and produced sex performances that Combs arranged, directed, masturbated during, and often electronically recorded. In arranging these freak-offs, Combs, with the assistance of members of associates of the Combs Enterprise, transported and caused to be transported commercial sex workers across state lines and internationally. Freak-offs occurred regularly, sometimes lasted multiple days, and often involved multiple commercial sex workers. During freak-offs, Combs distributed a variety of controlled substances to victims, in part to keep the victims obedient and compliant. Sometimes unbeknownst to the victims, Combs kept videos he filmed of the victims engaging in sex acts with commercial sex workers. After freak-offs, Combs and the victim typically received IV fluids to recover from the physical exertion and drug use. Let's pause there for a second, guys. Damn. So after multiple freak-off sessions, he keep them drugged, keep them discombobulated, and then when it's all said and done, he'll go ahead and give them IVs to get them rehydrated, get them back on their merry way. Woo! Across state lines. And here's the thing I want to add too, guys. And T. Orlando, correct me if I'm wrong if you think I'm crazy. I'm seeing this as the precursor, guys, of the flued out crew, men who like to fly out women from different states, things of that nature. This is going to be the example for some easy prosecution later. All it's going to take is a woman to say, he violated me, or he did something to me, and he flew me out and did this to me on purpose. That was his purpose. Whatever, how you want to try to write it up. If you get Diddy on this here, the small man ain't got a chance. Am I right or wrong? Am I off of possibly seeing a precedence of women getting flued out for the purpose of getting them draws, breaking that back, and getting them buns glazed, straight up cheek clapping? And you got text messages talking about all the freaky sex stuff, right? And then if something happens where she says something that's real out of pocket, then we may have a new Mann Act in play here. Well, not a new, but bringing it back to life. T. Orlando says, Shine would never do that if I flued her out. I hope not. Our tribe is really good on that, T. Orlando, but you can't trust certain people, man. Certain women, you know, you're going to catch a case and just cancel Christmas, baby. Let's continue. Let me get a bit more into the complaint here, guys. This is wild here. Check this other part here. Members and associates of the Combs enterprise, including high-ranking supervisors, security staff, household staff, personal assistants, and other Combs business employees facilitated the freak-offs by, among other things, booking hotel rooms for the freak-offs, stocking the hotel rooms in advance with the required freak-off supply. Hold on, y'all. The required freak-off supply, including controlled substances, baby oil, lubricants, extra linens and lighting, clean the hotel rooms after the freak-offs to try to mitigate room damage, arranging for travel for victims and commercial sex workers and Combs to and from the freak-offs. Let me scroll down a little bit more. Resupplying Combs with requested supplies, delivering large sums of cash to Combs to pay the commercial sex workers, and scheduling the delivery of IV fluids. In about March of 2024, during searches of Combs residents in Miami, Florida, and Los Angeles, California, law enforcement seized various freak-off supplies, including narcotics and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. Yeah, that's what we're talking about here. Remember earlier we were talking about the more when they made that announcement. Like I said, it could be 1,100 bottles of baby oil, could be 1,200 bottles of baby oil, could be 1,001 bottles of baby oil, could be 1,300 bottles of baby oil. The point is, we got a whole bunch of goddamn baby oil. It's a whole bunch of black people getting lathered up for the kill, man. Lord have mercy. Snap text said, damn, Dave, valid point. Hold on. Let me go back up to the chat here. Let's see here. Fellas, you better record it. Hey, Vince. Hey, now video recording all your interactions with women is unnecessary now, guys. Don't wait for this to be put in place here, where next thing you know, the small-time guy's going to catch these man act cases, guys. I'm just saying here. They can't go after Dubai NDAs, are airtight. It's some sick stuff going on over there. Oh, man. Thank you. Let's see here. This is like 200 freak-offs mentioned. I know, Moonlight. Hey, guys, if you came in late, I threw a joke saying that every time you heard the word freak-off, you got to take a shot. Is anybody drunk yet? Anybody drunk yet? Let me see here. Okay, I'm going to get to the question, and I'm going to get to the super here. Tierlando says, my question, why didn't he go to a non-extradition country when all this went south? Ray Charles saw this coming. That's a good point here, Tierlando. I was thinking about that. I'm going to get to the super in a second, Ellis. Tierlando, I was thinking about that before I came online here, right? Because as soon as he got arrested, was that back in March, whatever the case may be, he knew it was over. He knew that the walls were closing in. And my thing is, before he got arrested, I would think that a person like P. Diddy, Sean Combs here, has lawyers in place that keep their ear to the ground, Tierlando, that know about charges and cases before it even happen. Like they know about an open investigation. They know the walls are closing, so they're trying to prep early. So why would he not pull a Russell Simmons? Okay, find yourself a spot that has no extradition, already have all your supplies, everything set up, your banking set up, because he got multiple homes across the world. We already talked about the 3 raids in the United States alone, right? How come he didn't have his place set up, have money set aside there, and just go across where we got to go to and just don't come back ever again? Because you ain't going to find Russell Simmons coming back. As soon as Russell Simmons shows up in any U.S. territory, they're taking his ass down, right? So the fact that Diddy had way more money than Russell, had made way more power and influence than Russell, and knowing that there had to be little birdies that had to be telling him something, yo, you got to get out of here, dog. You got to go. You ain't untouchable. They going to get your ass. It makes you wonder, right? I mean, everybody thinks that Russell Simmons is guilty for running, but you know what, though? He in Bali right now doing yoga sessions with 85-degree weather, talking about it's nice over here in Bali. Okay, I feel sorry for my brother Diddy. I know he gonna do okay. You know what I'm saying? He all right now. So it makes you wonder what's going on. Is it true he was denied bond? Yeah, he was denied bond here, Orlando. How did TD Jakes not know? I thought he had discernment and he was swallowed. I would have told him to bounce immediately. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Hey, T. Orlando, and everybody in the chat. We're thinking about why he didn't bounce. So why didn't he bounce? That's a question to ask yourself, T. Orlando, because if Russell Simmons bounced before it got too hot, what was going on that kept him from bouncing before he took his passport? Because Remember all that stuff when they was raiding the crib, things of that nature? You would thought he would have bounced before then because they already knew what was popping off. Or maybe he had too much hubris to think that nobody could take him down. Ain't gonna nobody hold me down. Oh no, I got to keep on moving. That's probably what happened here, man. That's probably what happened. Hold on, let me get to the super guys. We're going to continue here. Shout out to my man Ellis again. Let me go back to the bigger box here. My man Ellis is coming in with a $5 holla, putting that green in the chat saying he also got women medical records when guests put their phones away. Do you believe he might have had a hacking team for the phones to blackmail? Oh, good question. Let me get you all cash out as well. Hey, Ellis. Salud. Thank you for the holla. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Right back at you with the super. Hey, Ellis, that's a good point. I think that is a good point. I think that when you have someone who has this much money, resources, power, connections, and influence, when it comes to something like this, it's worth thinking about it. I would think that somebody on this team is thinking about it and can easily took those cell phones, can easily have some nerdy dude put them on the payroll, hack their phones, go ahead and have a big old backup server, download all their information, download all things, or mirror their device, then boom, put it away, do it for the next time, do a mass download, and boom. And then when everybody's gone and everything like that, they try to say something, they're like, yo, I got your phone data, baby. I mean, hey, I work in IT, and I thought about that right now. So it doesn't put it past me, Ellis. Appreciate that holla, man. Appreciate that, man. Let's see here. Yeah, I know SnapTech. I can get into it right now. Shout out to my man SnapTech. He got two cash apps, guys. We're about to get back to the complaint in a second. SnapTech came. Hey, guys, I'll let y'all know something right now. There is no holla too small. Whatever y'all got to support the crew, go ahead and keep the lights on. I appreciate it. My man SnapTech came with a $1.85 cash app saying, for RIP Diddy, if he gets to trial, it's a miracle. Sad. My man SnapTech in the building with that cash app. Hey, brother. Salud. Thank you for the holla. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. And right back at you with the cash app, man. Appreciate that. Hey, and right behind that, guys, he got another cash app as well, guys. He dropped the second one. He dropped also another $1 cash app for Cash App Gang in the building. My man SnapTech, you be supporting the kid, man. My man SnapTech. Hey, brother. Salud. Thank you for that other holla as well. Thank you. And right back at you with the cash app. Hey, SnapTech, man, I appreciate you, man. You know what, though? Since you've been a regular on the channel, man, you've been showing up, man, it don't matter if you drop a small holla or a big holla, you're giving hollers. Man, it's respect. I'm humbled. I'm glad the fact that I'm giving you some sort of contact where you say, hey, man, let me go ahead and throw a few pennies in the jar here, man. Thank you, brothers. Much appreciated. I appreciate y'all. Y'all can do the same thing as well. If y'all want supporting the Cash App, I don't have the ticker on, but it's in the description box below. $ that dude named Dave, or we got super chats, super thanks, super stickers as well. All right, back to the complaint here, guys. Let me see what y'all say in the chat here. Ella says, why did he have pink cocaine in his hotel during the arrest? I don't know, man. Extortion will begin as soon as he hits the main line, says Elias. Hey, man, there's stuff happening behind the scenes right now, I believe. Behind the scenes. T. Orlando says, let me get this here. There are several non-extradition states. Now, that doesn't mean the government can't kidnap, but that doesn't mean but that doesn't happen 99.9% of the time. I got you, T. Orlando. I didn't know about that as well, non-extradition states. So it makes you wonder what they had on him before he can leave and get the hell out of Dodge. Because if you guys remember, I even joked around, did some commentary when the original raid happened, when they thought he had left the country. Remember, they thought he was in the islands, all this stuff, but he was actually still in America, whatever. And I was joking around saying, how come he just don't go and don't come back? He did. He got friends all over the globe. I know he got some, and it may be sad to say this here. You know he got friends that are not friends of the United States that'll go ahead and house him, saying, hey, come on, Diddy, come on over. You know, you can't come back home, but you ain't gonna be in no American prison. Makes you wonder, man. Let me see here. Hold on. Hey, shout out to MOP in the building. What's going on, MOP? Dropping the $2 holla, putting the blue in the shade. What you got for me, man? At my job, ninja watching, and Diddy has a new jail daddy. Yeah, man. Keep that working, brother. My man MOP in the building. Hey, brother. Salud. Thank you for the holla. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Right back at you with the super. Hey, man, hope all's well your way, man. Appreciate the support and holla, man. Man, don't work too hard tonight, man. Get that money, baby. Get that money. What's going on? Jay Wine is saying shit getting real. This is some week. This is some week. Pac died 28 years ago. Yeah, man. Yeah, Pac did die. This is the anniversary of Pac. Yeah, that's true. September. Yes, indeed. Okay, let's get back to complaint, guys. I want to get a little bit more information on this, and then we'll move on here, right? Because you know what, guys? Like I said, this does not end today or this weekend. You guys know something like this? We're gonna be here for months. We're gonna get more little dribble information, more notes. It's gonna keep sliding on through. Yo, we're gonna be here for a while, guys. Hey, get your popcorn ready. Unless he gets taken out and Epsteined, get your popcorn ready, guys. We're gonna be here for a while. Let me scroll down more about this complaint here, man. Here's what I want to read here. It says members and associates of Combs Enterprises, including Combs security personnel, at times carry firearms. On more than one occasion, Combs himself carried or brandished firearms to intimidate and threaten others, including victims of and witnesses to his abuse. And about March of 2024, during searches of Combs' residence in Miami, Florida, and Los Angeles, let me scroll down here, Los Angeles, law enforcement seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 AR-15s and defaced serial numbers as well as drum magazines. We heard about that earlier, right? But the thing that I missed earlier was I did not know they had in the complaint that they actually had him with the guns. They had him brandishing the weapons. He was the one doing the intimidating. It's not just him having some goons or bodyguards and the security. They're saying everybody was carrying that weight. They're saying everybody had the tool. Diddy was holding two. Diddy had a tool. Everybody had a tool. Everybody was doing that work and intimidating. Hey, I'm not saying this. Uncle Sam, the U.S. government is saying this, guys. Woof. Rod Walker says Rick Ross gonna go back to being a correction officer and try to get his boy out. Elias says bed sheet unalive. Hey, man, a lot of folks are thinking that way, Elias. The bed sheets, look out for them bed sheets, guys. A lot of folks are talking about that, man. A lot of folks, look out for them bed sheets. Man, let me scroll down a little bit more here. It says, when employees, witnesses to his abuse, and others threaten Combs' authority or reputation, Combs and members and associates of the enterprise engage in acts of violence, threats of financial reputational harm, and verbal abuse. These acts of violence included kidnapping and arson. In addition, on multiple occasions, Combs threw both objects and people, as well as hit, dragged, and choked and shoved others. Now, guys, reason why I'm reading this part in Complaint F. Complaint F, I mentioned a few times here, is allegedly about Kid Cudi. Allegedly about Kid Cudi. What do you mean, Dave? Let me give you a long story short here. The story about the situation is Kid Cudi had a drop top convertible car. They basically cut open the drop top, because it was a soft top, and they cut it open and dropped a Mazel cocktail bomb in the car and blew that up to smithereens. It was allegedly Kid Cudi's car. Allegedly. Man, so when you see all the stories and talk about Kid Cudi having anxiety and talk about wanting to delete himself and all things like that, he was dealing more than with mental problems. He was dealing with Diddy trying to wipe his ass off the goddamn planet. Yo, Diddy was not just harming women, guys. Diddy was diddying men. Diddy was an equal opportunity diddler. Let me get that right, guys. I know there's going to be a bunch of ladies that's going to be clapping, going to be happy. Yeah, get that abuser. Get that man. Lock him up, right? I want to know something. Are y'all having that same type of applause for the men that Diddy allegedly took the booty from? The alleged booty warrior that Diddy was. I'm saying allegedly right now. I'm just kind of curious. A lot of women are happy that he's going down, but are you happy at the alleged attacks against men? Or are you only happy because that he's going down for the women acts? I'm just asking the question, guys, because, hey, man, when we're saying allegedly, a whole bunch of male booty got taken. And if you notice a lot in this complaint here, Orlando, said B-Dub's happy, you don't see the words women sex workers. We're seeing throughout this complaint that Diddy hired male sex workers, guys. Diddy was not just out here high-end pros. He could find women all day. He could find chicks who are models who trying to get in the industry. That was the easy part. He was like, no, if I'm paying for something, I need the male booty clappers. Oh, God, I can't make this up, guys. No, when the news said that this looks like the script of a bad Hollywood movie, you thought they would make some stuff. This is a bad Hollywood script, man. Lord have mercy. Hey, before we move on, guys, I'm going to get more into the complaint here. And I got another video, right? I got another Cash App that came in here. T. Orlando in the building. Shout out to T. Orlando, man. T. Orlando in the Cash App game. Dropped the $1 holla, but check it out. No questions. No comments. He just dropped the holla for the love of the game. My man T. Orlando in the building. Hey, brother. Salud. Thank you for the holla. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. And right back at you with the Cash App. Hey, man, support. I appreciate the love, guys. Thank y'all for throwing whatever y'all throwing for this live stream here, man. Man, it feels good to be back. I don't know if I've been demonetized yet. Since I've been back, man, YouTube has demonetized all of my live streams since I started talking about politics, guys, and talking about real world items, man. So thank y'all for supporting me because I'm not making money off these lives because they're demonetizing my black ass. All right, guys, let's get back into it. What y'all saying here? I'm going to be honest. I don't believe any of this ish here. Well, T. Orlando, I preference what I said. You came late. I said I have a lot of questionable things. Now, so I'm not on P. Diddy's side, but there's some things we got to question here. I didn't want to call myself Conspiracy Brother Jones, but I threw some questions out in the beginning. You know what I mean? Government's on some BS. Yeah. Diddy is on video kissing men. Hey, Jason. Hey, that's why I brought up Jason. A lot of men. The women just weren't abused. It was the men. Like Rod said, don't get meeked. Meek Mill. Allegedly. How come every time we see a sketchy video of Meek Mill look like someone had just taken his manhood away, just taking his dignity away? You know what I'm saying? Every time I see this man, he got a little look on his face like he got to put an ice pack on his booty. You know what I'm saying? It's allegedly, I'm just saying though, but it just looks very suspect at times. Every time I see Meek Mill in the video with Diddy involved. Every time I see Diddy and Meek, I see Diddy looking either jealous or either he just took the booty. Allegedly. Oh my God. Let's get back into the complaint here, guys. Let's get back into it. I got a little bit more I want to talk about here before we move on here. Ross said they took his soul. Meek is completely destroyed. I mean, come on. How does Meek Mill hang out with Robert Kraft? Guys, of all the rappers that crosses over to hang out with billionaires, how in the hell did Meek Mill find himself in the company of hanging out the likes of Robert Kraft? I mean, come on. I like the fact that people of all walks of life can hang out and kick it together. It's like, doesn't matter if this man looks this way and I look this way. Yo, we just boys like that. But it makes you wonder. I was like, I know Robert Kraft, on the NFL team. Was like, yo, Robert Kraft and Meek Mill. Oh, what kind of correlation is that? And I'm saying that because is Robert Kraft going to be in here? We're going to have other billionaires, guys. Robert Kraft and a whole bunch of other white folks. It ain't black people just going to be in this situation here, guys. We got high-ranking, high-priced, high-paid, well-maintained white men. Whew. Let's get back to this complaint, guys. We just getting started. Man. Let me go down here. The racketeering conspiracy. Let's talk about this for a few moments here, guys. I'm not reading his names. From at least in about 2008, the defendant and others known and unknown being personally employed by and associated with Combs Enterprise described in paragraphs 6 through 12 of this indictment and enterprise engaged in and the activities of which affected interstate and foreign commerce, knowingly combined, conspired, confederated, and agreed together and with each other to violate the racketeering laws of the United States to a Title 18 United States Code 1962C, that is to conduct and participate directly and directly in the conduct of the affairs of the Combs Enterprise through a pattern of racketeering activity at the term is defined in Title 18, United States Code 1961-1 and 1961-5, and involving, and let's get these details here, multiple acts involving kidnapping, chargeable under the following provision state laws of California Penal Code, not reading them out here. Multiple acts involving arson, chargeable under the following provisions of state law, which is another California penal law as well. Multiple acts involving bribery and chargeable under California law. Multiple acts indictable under Title 18. Multiple acts under Title 18 of Section 1589. I'm not going to read all this. It's so many multiple codes that T. Orlando knows here. Multiple offenses involving the possession with intent to distribute or the distribution of narcotics and controlled substances, including cocaine, oxycodone. Oh, man, what's that? Is that meth? God damn. Brunzone, gamma hydroxy. Oh, my God, ketamine? Lord, it just caught me off guard for a second, guys. Oof, let me scroll down here. It was a part of the conspiracy that Sean Combs, AKA 20 different names, the defendant agreed that a conspirator would commit at least 2 acts of racketeering activity in the conduct of the affairs of the Combs enterprise. Let me pause there, guys. I read a whole bunch of racketeering shit. Woo, guys, racketeering. I gotta be honest. I was very ignorant about racketeering to this week, guys. You hear about it in the news, you see in the movies, you hear about the mob and all that stuff like that. And here it is now, educating myself and reading the complaints, and I'm getting a better understanding of racketeering here. God damn, I didn't know how ignorant I was to this week, guys. Lord have mercy. T. Orlando says Robert Kraft already had issues, remember? Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying though. Meek Mill and Robert Kraft, man. Elias says, Robert likes some chocolate now and then like the rest of us. Hey, you ain't lying about that, man. You ain't lying about that. Hey, let me get this super before we move on here. Whoops, let me do this here. Shout out to my man, Stevie D in the building with the $4.99, $5 holla. Put in the green plate in the chat, man. What you got for me? Here's to the chef. Keep cooking. Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. Hey, my man Stevie D in the building. Hey, brother. Salud. Thank you for the holla. I appreciate you. Thank you. Right back at you with the super. Man, thank you for that green plate, man. Appreciate y'all, man. We still going through this complaint here. I'm not going through the whole thing. I am not a legal expert. What I'm doing is just skimming through the doc here, and we're reading over things that we all can understand. But we do have a legal professional here, my man, T. Orlando. He knows the law. He works in this. He does all stuff. So anything that if I say wrong, T. Orlando, please do not stop and put it here to correct me, okay? I know what I know, but if I say anything wrong, please correct me. Appreciate you, Stevie D, man. Thank you for that holla, man. Thank you very much, man. Let me go ahead and do this here. Wait, give me 1 second, guys. There we go. Okay. All right. Let me scroll down here. Thank you, Stevie D. He volunteered, so Meek knew better, but Usher didn't. Yeah, Usher, man. He knows I ain't mentioned Usher this whole live stream. God damn, we forgot about Usher yet. Well, we ain't forgot, we just ain't got to him yet. Lord. T. Orlando says, can we ask a better question? Why is the government doing this? All the issues this warrants, the thousands of hours spent on this indictment, what's the motivation? Hey, T. Orlando, I'm throwing this question out here again. People who missed the beginning of my live stream. Why? Matter of fact, I'll come back to the complaint here. It's not going anywhere, guys. We're going to bring it back in a second. I just want people to see this question here. I am not Conspiracy Brother Jones, but it makes you wonder, this is dropping less than 2 months before the election, and Diddy used to be a hard, I don't know if he probably still, I shouldn't say used to. Let me correct my words there. Diddy is a hardcore Democrat. Since 2004, we can see, Google, remember the campaigns, vote or die? How is somebody who is this heavily influenced in the democratic process, who knows presidents, former presidents, and is rocking with Kamala Harris as well, and then all of a sudden in 2020, he questioned Joe Biden. He brought up, why should we vote for Joe Biden? I'ma hold my vote. I'm paraphrasing. But when Diddy says I'ma hold my vote, he's basically saying that me and the people who rock with me, we're gonna hold our vote to see what Biden is gonna do here. This was back in 2020, guys. Now fast forward now. I'm just saying, as an adult, I just wanna question a few things. all of a sudden, right before the election, someone who's vice president and who's part of the Democrats here, and someone who's been in videos, and she, Kamala's talked to Diddy, and we've seen her in videos and party things of that nature, and out of nowhere, not saying out of nowhere, but all of a sudden now they're throwing him to the wolves. They're saying that we don't need Diddy no more. We can arrest and lock him up. We got to get this man down. It makes you wonder here, guys, who did he piss off with the Democrats where they said he's a liability, he can go now? Just a thought, guys. Less than 2 months before the election cycle, he knows all the heavy hitters and players. He's donated money to all the super PACs in their campaigns. And all of a sudden, less than 2 months, you're done? Who did he piss off? Who is the people undercover behind the scenes that said he's a liability now? There's going to be some hits, but we take the hit now for not the bigger fall later because he has too much now. I'm just saying, I'm just curious. If you guys got a better answer, you can correct me. I'll fall back. It makes you wonder if a man who's a billionaire and got this much power and influence and is heavily involved in the democratic process and who knows the big players, and they're saying, we good on you. They're turning their back. Walk on by. It's a question, guys. It's just a question. Let's get back to the complaint here. Wait, before I do, though, what's up, Upward Man? Upward Man in the building with the $9.99, $10 holla, pushing the yellow plate. Hey, once again, guys, I love it when you make the chat turn colors. What you guys be saying? What's up, TD&D? Just joined the live. I saw that the video detailing what Diddy did allegedly. That was the wildest list of egregious I've heard in a long time. Diddy was doing way too much. Hey, man. Too much is an understatement, brother. Hey, man. Salud. Thank you for the holla. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. And right back at you with the super. I got a couple of cats that got messed up there with the super. Thank you, man, for dropping that holla in the plate, man. Thank you very much, man. Thank you. Gonna bring the complaint back. We're about to get back into it, man. Hope all's well your way, Upper Man. Remember last live stream, he told us about the girl who got fired, man. Man, Upper Man got some crazy stories about hey, guys, if you guys want to hear about crazy stories about dating women in a hospital, or actually don't date women who work in hospitals, talk to Upward Man. He got a couple of stories in the last month alone that'll throw your socks off. Lord have mercy, man. Let me scroll down here. Scratched off serial numbers, no rifles means them guns got bodies, says Ty Pro. Oh, yeah, man. That's what talk about. The AR-15s scratched off, man. Ugh. So, yeah, someone served some time for that one. Oprah sending Team 6, says Eliza. Hey, Oprah, yeah, all of them are shaking their boots, man. All of them. The government will always make time to clip a black man doing too much. Oh, hell yeah. Come on, Tierland. We've been seeing it so much. Hell yeah. Hey, much y'all got grease for Bill Cosby. As soon as that Negro wanted to buy NBC, all hell broke loose. We can't let this niglet own NBC. Imagine a Bill Cosby on NBC. The same thing when they did to Michael Jackson when he bought the Beatles masters and started buying everybody else's masters and started giving the masters back to the recording artists. It was like, this ninja got too much money and is giving black folks too much money back. We got to get this back here. Yeah. Ross says it's a distraction from the real issues with who gets elected. This quiets the political noise. Yes, it does, Rod. Because the only thing I noticed before I did my live stream here, I said to myself, we're taking a pause to stop talking about Kamala Harris and all the bad stuff that's gone on her the last couple of days and all the bad press that she's been doing, because now we're talking about Diddy right now. Because, man, Kamala is getting, as bad as they're talking about Trump, Kamala's getting some very, very bad press. And the things that she's her own doing, some of the speaking points and talking points that's going on here, there was one sit down that she had and she walked away and the black folks looking at her like she crazy. It's like, man, what happened to her? So it's a big distraction. I hear you, man. I hear you. Hey, let's get to this one more super before we get back to the complaint here. My man Upper Man's back in the building with the $4.99, $5 holla, keeping the green plate passing, saying the weapons with scratched off serials is stupid. Especially he could have just got 80%ers and had them finish. Why duty legally? Upper Man, I'm gonna answer that in a second. Hey, man. Salud. Thank you for the holla. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. And right back at you with the green. Super. Why he did it illegally? When you're as powerful and strong as P. Diddy and nothing's ever really happened to you, legal or illegal is kind of a blurred line. Right? He's been doing this for so long. Legal and illegal is a blurred line. It's all the same in his world. When you a ninja who's been getting away with what you've been getting away with, allegedly, if you are a powerful person who's been doing certain things that you've been doing, allegedly, who gives a damn about illegal? He just got a key to the city last year. If you got the key to the city of New York and what you meant to New York, come on, man. Remember when Biggie died and then they had the big performance and everything at the MTV Awards and he was dancing by himself and then you saw the catapult, the legend of Diddy. I mean, he was already a rich man, but it's like the legend really built at that moment at the MTV Awards. Like once you get to them heights, it's kind of hard to tell anybody anything when you've been doing anything you've wanted for over 20 or 30 years. Allegedly. So it's stupid, Upper Man. You're right. Me and you, we're regular people. We're saying, why do this dumb why do this dumb stuff? But we're regular. We're thinking like regular people. When you've been above the law for so long, you don't think like that. You tell your people get the job done. When you've been doing for what you've been doing for as long as you have, what do you tell your people? Get the goddamn job done. Don't make me have to go out and get the job done. Right? So yeah, man, that's what's going on. It sounds dumb, but you know what though? When you're that powerful, man, you forget a few things. Thank you for that holla, man. Let's get back to the complaint here. Let's scroll down here. Let's get to count 2. Count 2 talks about sex trafficking by force, fraud, and coercion. We're not going to go through everything. We're just skimming it, guys. We're just skimming. The grand jury further charges from at least 2009 up until including about 2018. Once again, we're not reading all 20 names. in affecting interstate and foreign commerce, knowingly recruited, enticed, harbored, transported, provided, obtained, advertised, maintained, patronized, and solicited by any means a person knowing and in reckless disregard of the fact that means of force, threats of force, fraud, and coercion as described in Title 18. God damn, man. Count 3, transportation to engage in prostitution. From at least in about 2009 up until about 2024, so this year, the Southern District of New York and elsewhere, Sean Combs and all 22 of his names knowingly transported an individual in the interstate and foreign commerce with intent and an individual engaged in prostitution and attempted, aided, and abetted and willfully caused the same to wit, Combs transported, aided and abetted and willfully caused the transportation of female victims and commercial sex workers in interstate and foreign commerce on multiple occasions with the intent that they engage in prostitution. Okay, guys, this one right here, this is what I was talking about earlier, where we all got to look out for. The regular Joe Smo here. For all my single brothers out here who may got a few dollars in their pocket and they like to have they women go on these flued out trips and you're going on these little vacations, you know, little sunny side, little beach, little ocean action. You want to her rock the 2Ps, you know, you want to get in some Cleep shack, cheek clapping action, you know what I'm saying? But here's the thing, guys, that we got to look out for if this happens. I'm not saying this is going to happen or not, but if he is charged, this is count 3 here, and if he is convicted of this one here, can you imagine the floodgates of certain cases for women that saying this man did certain things to me, and then when they go ahead and get the warrants and they go through the text messages and then they see quote unquote a guy giving a girl money just to get them draws, I'm gonna give you a plane ticket or I'm gonna give you this money, whatever the conversation that leads to, I give you X amount of something in return, you're gonna give me them cheeks, and then you hop on a plane and women give said cheeks. Fellas, it's gonna be a whole bunch of small-time ninjas getting caught up here. hey, if they see any forms of money or goods being exchanged for acts of sex, then they're going to say that's prostitution. And if she got on a plane and traveled, that's across interstate lines. Fellas, hey, there's going to be a whole bunch of dudes catching cases, guys. Be on the lookout for count 3, man. Hey, before we move on here, man, my man came back here again. Hold on, where we at here? We got Upper Man back with the $4.99, $5 holla, putting the green back in the chat, man. What you got for me? The weapons? Okay. So weapons with scratched off series is stupid, especially when he could have just 80% of his heart had him finish. Why? Okay, I already had that one already. My bad. I read that already. I'll give you another one, man. Sorry about that. I read it already. Sorry. So much stuff going on. I'm looking over here. I got too many devices going on. Just showing you some more love. Sorry about that, guys. What's going on, BT? I see you got the link up. I'm going to call in. Yeah, let me go through the complaint first before you click the link, man. I want to finish going through the whole complaint. We're almost done here. Let me see. Hey, what's going on, Shantae? Good to see you. Nah, I lost mine in a boating accident back in 63. All right, let me get back to it, guys. Sorry about that. So much stuff going on around here. Good to see you, Shantae. Let's scroll down here. Now, we're almost at the end, guys. Forfeiture allegations. I'll just skim this really fast. As a result of committing the offense alleged in count 1 of the indictment, Sean Combs and all his 22 names, it says, okay, let me scroll down here. And all interests and securities and claims against him, property and contractual rights of any kind affording a source of influence over the enterprise named and described herein, which the defendant established, operated, controlled, conducted, and participated in the conduct of any violation of Title 18. Man, dog. I'm going to scroll down here a little bit more. I'm not going to read that. It's a whole bunch of title information. We're not going that. Substitute asset provisioning. If any of the above described forfeitable property as a result of any omission of the defendant cannot be located or upon exercising due diligence, has been transferred or sold, has been placed beyond the jurisdiction of the court, has been substantially diminished in value, and has been committed to the property which cannot be subdivided without difficulty. Okay, we're at the end, guys. I went through it really fast. I skimmed it. And like T. Orlando, I told you it was Damian Williams. T. Orlando's telling us that Damian Williams is a guy that Diddy's in trouble with. Plain and simple. Let me go back to the big box, guys. Big box. All right. Let me see what's in the chat here. Hey, good to see you too, Shantae. Thanks for chiming in. Hope's all well your way to the world here. Okay, guys. We went through the whole complaint. We skimmed it. I just want to go over like the, some of the major pieces of it here. Like I said, I'm not a legal mind. I'm not a lawyer, But like I said, I'm a middle-aged black man. And by me being a middle-aged black man, that makes me a certified paralegal. Okay, all jokes aside, though. When we're seeing something like this happen right now, we're just in the beginning, guys. Our toe is we're not even the deep end of the pool yet. We're just putting our big toe into the water right now. We just getting started, guys. We are just getting started here. And what I want to do here is I want to play another video. I want to react to TMZ talking about the situation too as well. Because one thing we got going on here is, what about the big time Hollywood elites that were at all these parties, guys? Like the Ashton Kutchers of the world. Any rapper that's down with Diddy. The rappers like the George Clooney's of the world. Just throwing examples out there. Even if you did not do anything wrong, were you a multiple frequent, party goer where you knew the ish was going down? You may not have engaged in these acts here, but you were there when the bad acts were going on. You kind of turned a blind eye. You see, it's those people that's been in all these parties for all these years that's going on there. Oh, yeah. I bet you in the back of their mind, they're probably saying, hey, if y'all can delete this ninja, delete this ninja. Man, Upper says, what are you saying here, Upper? Word is that Diddy has IV. Yeah, that was actually part of the complaint. We read that earlier. They would have these freak-off parties last for multiple days where that the people involved, men and women, it wasn't just women getting diddled. Men were getting diddled. They're in the complaints talk about male sex workers. He'll constantly have them drugged up for multiple days, keeping them under the influence. And then once it was all done, they'll administer IVs to them to get them back to normal, get them rehydrated, and then pay for plane tickets or car service to send them back on their merry way after their cheeks been clapped. Yeah, upper man. Yeah, he had a whole process. We just can't be sending people passed out about to die. No, we got to give them some IVs, got to give them some hydration, some water. You know, make sure they're still alive when we get rid of them. Allegedly. I got to say that. Allegedly. Diddy should have called Bruce Rivers. Damn. Why was Oprah at a lot of these events? They're part of the boule. They're part of the elite, manish. Part of that boule. I'm telling you, they all, come on now. If you think that Oprah don't know what the hell's going on, or Oprah may have indulged in some of these items, come on now. Oprah, J-Lo, the Obamas, I don't care. Anybody of power who were at these parties, y'all saw something. If you've been to more than one party, you saw something. It been one thing is like, yo, I went to a party. I was in the general population area. I was hanging out with the DJ and everything. I didn't see nothing because, yo, I was partying. I can get that. You went to one party. You didn't see nothing. You know, you was getting it in, right? You was dancing. You know, DJ D-Nice was on the ones and twos playing them hard, that hardcore original hip hop, you know, playing my Dilla music, you know, some Slum Village, maybe a little Common, a little De La Soul, Erykah Badu or something. You getting your boogie on. But if you were a regular, you've been to more than one event, you've been to a couple of these shindigs, you saw something. And the way you saw Oprah, arms hugged around Epstein and arms around Weinstein, hugging Diddy and come on, you gonna tell me that they never had parties together, get-togethers, may not have been a freak-off with Oprah and them, but they hung out. They know what goes on. And it's been a running joke or conspiracy theory for all these years. Now the catch is out the bag right now, right? Catch is out the bag. Hey, what's going on, Miss Walker? Yeah, you late, but you on time. Looking good in that little profile pic, girl. You look good with curly hair with the baseball cap, girl. Yeah, looking good over there. Hope all's well on your way in Arizona. It says, shit, in law school, they were freak-offs. I know judges who were at freak-offs. That shit's silly. God damn, T. Orlando. Know what, though? I believe it. Elias says, I'm an old head, but I've been hearing about Oprah since 85. I believe you, man. And not just Oprah. Anybody who has that much money and power, you can question all of these cats. You can question all of them. That much money. She left with Denzel since Vince. Hey, come on, man. Hey, T. Orlando started again. Says Cheyenne does it for me. T. Orlando, Vegas sound awful. Not my scene. Hey, come on now. Okay, they're going back and forth again. Shout out to Miss Walker and T. Orlando giving us comedy in the section here. Here's what I want to do, guys. Thank y'all for listening to me about the complaint here. I believe we're going to bring that complaint again in the next few months here. I want to bring another video up from the news source talking about TMZ, because they're bringing up a lot of decent information that I think that we should actually introduce here. You know what I'm saying? Check remix, all freak-offs. Yeah, man. All right, guys, let me play this another video, how we're going to react to it here, guys. Man, likes up in the building. Appreciate y'all. Let's go.
Music mogul to an inmate, Sean Diddy Combs, is denied bail on charges of sex trafficking and racketeering.
TMZ has been following this case for months now, and Charles Lati-Baudier is joining us to dive deeper into what is happening. Charles, I mean, shocking is an understatement when you hear the details of this case. What are your thoughts after hearing the indictment yesterday?
Good morning, Brian and Natalie. I got to tell you, my thoughts reading the 14-page indictment yesterday were that there are a lot of people in Hollywood who are probably worried about which Diddy parties they were at and what was going on. That's not to say that they were necessarily even involved in any of the things that are alleged by the U.S. Attorney's Office. But if you're at that party and it turns out that that's when he set up one of these freak-off sex parties, or that it was going on in another room and you didn't know about it, there's a good chance that you're going to be called by the U.S. Attorney's Office. And certainly if you were involved, you would get a call because they're going to want to know everything you want to know and may even want you to be a witness. I just think, we're just starting to scratch the surface of what this case, this case is going to touch and involve. And the feds have said that this remains an open investigation. There could be more charges for Diddy. There could be more charges for other people involved. And usually the way this works is once they find out other people are involved or were witnesses, they bring them in and they sort of lean on them. And it's sort of like, you're going to cooperate with us, or there's a possibility that you could face charges. So this is going to be a slow developing a case here because we're just getting started. And I don't see how this trial begins anytime before next year.
Exactly.
There are a lot of wild allegations in those documents that came out yesterday, including 1,000 bottles of baby oil. What surprised you the most about what you read yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, that, Brian, was was definitely an alarming graph of the indictment when you read that when they raided, I believe it was the Miami home where they found 1,000 bottles of, and they said that these were items that were used at the freak-offs. There were also large amounts of drugs, they said, cocaine, ketamine, Molly, GHB, the rape drug. So, they said that the house, according to the feds, that was stocked for these parties that were going on. And then to read their description of how Diddy, as they say, lured women into joining these parties. And they say that he would meet them or lure them, get to know them and lure them in thinking they would think that there was going to be a romantic relationship with him. And then it would turn out that they would be at these freak-offs where they would be forced to have, or drugged and forced to have sex with male prostitutes that he was bringing in. And that's one of the counts that he's facing also, is the transportation of individuals for a purpose of prostitution. So really alarming allegations laid out in court. Diddy, of course, has pled not guilty to all of it. And then the real kicker for him at the end of the day was that the judge said you will be held without bail. And that means however long it takes for this trial to begin, he will be in a federal detention facility in Brooklyn, and not a very nice one. In fact, a fairly notorious one. So you got to figure it. He wants out of there, and he wants out as soon as possible.
We're in this.
Before we continue on that part there, yes, he wants out, because Suge Knight was talking about this, guys. Suge Knight was talking, saying, hey, y'all need to look out the fact that if he's going to be in lockup, they're going to try to take him out. Like, not just the fact that he's in a bad location and all the stuff that's happened over the decades. We got to understand that here, guys. Like, he is in a bad spot. Not everybody in New York loves Diddy. Not everybody wants to rock with him. Even though he may have been a big mogul and the government's after him, he has a lot of enemies, guys. A lot of local enemies. I mean, come on now. Local, all over the nation here. You think that Diddy's going to walk in, he's going to have to do a Diddy bop before, to get some kind of, I'm just saying, he has a lot of enemies. He's going to have to do a lot of dancing, and you got to understand, he's inside with a whole bunch of killers. Let's continue.
This era right now, Charles, of men with power falling from grace in Hollywood. And when I think about Harvey Weinstein, that was an open secret in Hollywood for a very long time about what he was doing with victims. Was this also the case with P. Diddy, that the people kind of knew this was going on?
I will say this. There were always been whispers about his power and how he wielded that power. But I can't say I heard any whispers about these freak-offs, and it's really alarming. We were talking about it yesterday. One, these parties had a lot of individuals. In fact, the U.S. Attorney's Office says that the parties would sometimes go on for days. So there are a lot of individuals involved, and yet, and they say this has been going on for more than 10 years, and yet we didn't hear about that. So that means that all the people that were involved, according to the feds, that he managed to keep them all quiet, that nobody would speak about it. And that does sort of speak to the kind of power he wielded and the fear that people had of him. We were also talking about the fact that the beating of Cassie, which was captured on the hotel surveillance video, that was, 6 years ago.
As
And
alleged when Combs
nobody
didn't get his
knew about it. Nobody heard about it. Think about all the people that were at the hotel who may have known about it, people who saw the surveillance video and never spoke about it. And like you said, we're in an era where when things like that happen, people speak out about it. So the fact that no one did, and that it only took this, really Cassie's lawsuit before any of this started coming out, it does kind of speak to the power that he wielded, and that the fact that nobody wanted to cross him.
And Charles, what do you think happens next in this case? Members of Sean Combs' family have been ordered to give up their passports. He's currently in jail. What do you think happens from here?
Well, his attorneys, the first thing that's going to happen is today, his attorneys are going back into court. They've appealed the bail ruling. And like I said, I'm sure he wants out, and that's their first job right now is to get him out. They've offered a $50 million package for bail. That was rejected yesterday, but they're going to take another swing at it today. And then after that, what happens, look, he did surrender his passport to his lawyer. We should say the way his team put it out originally, they made it sound like he had turned it over to the authorities. He had turned over his passport back in April to his lawyer, as did his children and his mother. And their point was they wanted to make the case to the court that, look, we're cooperating here. He is not a flight risk. And they feel like that the U.S. Attorney's Office undermined that by raiding his hotel on Monday night and arresting him when they say he was in New York because he was more than willing to surrender. In fact, the plan was for him to surrender on Tuesday, and then for some reason, the feds decided to arrest him Monday night. Diddy's attorneys think they did that so that it would look like he wasn't cooperating, and then the judge would deny him bail, which, as it turns out, is what happened.
Well, Charles, thank you so much for your thoughts on.
Shout out to the news. They're getting some more information here. I'm seeing T. Orlando on the chat here. Hey, guys, I got the link at the top here. We've been going through a lot of stuff here. I'm curious, if y'all want to throw y'all 2 cents in here, you got to throw your camera on. I at least got to see your camera on in the green room in the back here. And if I already know you to click the link here and you don't want your camera on, that's cool, but I have to know you. So if y'all want to click the link and chop it up for a second, y'all can do that. It's pinned to the top there. BT, you said you wanted to click and talk about it. So yeah, let me go back to the chat now. You said T. Orlando says, if he was a flight risk, he would have already left. Get the F out of here. This is so BS. I would have ate this slip in court. Hey, man, they're not, but they took the passports, if you heard from the family there. Nope, no family can go. They offered so much assets for bail yesterday and today, and that didn't go through. They want that man to be locked up. They're not even trying to let him, trying to see any light of day. They're not even taking that chance. I hear you, T. Orlando. Social media is power, more powerful than Diddy. God, Dizzle, man. What are you talking about naming the black book here, Vince? Oh, yeah, I read that already. Sorry. You don't think they're going to put him in Gen Pop? I mean, not Gen Pop, but you don't think that him being at facility, though, T. Orlando, that's not even a good look? Because he ain't trying to be locked up. I'm saying Diddy got enemies. That's what I'm just saying here. Diddy got enemies, guys. He got enemies. Hold on here. Let me move this over here, guys. Give me 1 second. Derek said T. Orlando's word. Yeah. But I'll take T. Orlando's word on it, He's the expert and I'm not. I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking questions right now, you know what I mean? Because, to be honest, guys, we've only seen maybe a couple of situations that might be similar. We're kind of working on new territory here. You know what I'm saying? Someone this big and this powerful with these kind of charges, and we're watching it in real time as far as like able to see it here compared to years in the past. All right, I got my man BT in the bill. Let me bring him up here, man. Hold on. Hey, Broken Traditions, BT, how's it going?
Oh, my bad.
Brother?
My mic was muted. What's going on, Dave? How you been, man?
Oh, man, I'm good, man. How you living, man?
I'm good. I'm good, man. I see you was in New York with Drew.
Oh yeah. About 3 weeks ago, man. Yeah, I work in New York, so I got in town. I texted Drew early in the week and everything, right? Oh, I see you, T. Orlando. I'm gonna bring you up in a second. So yeah, I hit Drew up, and then next you know he's like, "Yo, D, what you doing on Thursday? You still in town?" I'm like, "Yeah." So we met up at Times Square, kicked it for a minute with this Cuban spot, had some good
That's what's
food
up.
up in Y, you know. So yeah, it was kind of good seeing people on the East Coast, man. How you living?
I'm good. I'm good. I don't know. You know, Drew was out here like a month ago in Atlanta, so I got up with Drew out here.
Oh, nice, man. We all moving
Yeah.
around, Lincoln. Here's what I'm gonna do here.
I'll be in New York on Friday. So
Oh man, I probably won't be
Yeah.
back. If I do go back to New York, it probably won't be for the end of the year. You know, I'm in New York
Me
like
too.
3 or 4 times a year. You know, so
Okay.
probably by the end of the year I'll be back. If I do go back, depending on the weather. Look like we're
Okay.
gonna have a panel here. So we got someone who just clicked the link. We got my man T Orlando in the building as well.
salute.
T Orlando, yo. he
Before we
clicked the
continue,
link.
Dave, where's your Atlanta hat?
What's my what?
Where's your Atlanta hat?
I ain't got no Atlanta hat, brother. I don't got
Flipping.
no hats.
He
I'm
from
in the
Chicago, yo.
I'm in the shy, baby. I'm in the shy, rocking the Jay Dilla Changed My Life t-shirt. Dilla's from Detroit.
Yeah,
I'm
he's from
repping
Detroit.
I'm repping Midwest.
Okay, okay.
I rep that Midwest, all right? You know what I mean? So, hey, you know, the A, you know what I mean? You know, y'all do y'all thing, you know, a little
We're not
zesty
gonna
lands
hold it
down there.
against him.
You know, I mean, I'm not gonna crack no jokes on the zestiness down there, but you know, y'all doing y'all thing, you know. What's popping to Orlando, man? I didn't know you were gonna click the link.
What's good? What's good?
Hey man, can't call it. You know, we're not talking about Kamala right now because I've been
We're not gonna
demonetized.
do that. We're not gonna
Hey,
do that.
Hey, before we get started, guys, since I took like a couple weeks break about a month ago because I've been doing a lot of traveling for work and a lot of work on call, and since I've been getting back to my lives again, every time I do political talks about Kamala Harris, everyone gets demonetized. Every live stream, guys. Up until I haven't checked this one here. I should look because I mentioned Kamala's name right now. Just by saying her name might get me demonetized right now. I'm not lying to y'all. I am not making no money off these lives unless y'all support the channel. I mentioned Kamala's name. I say a couple of things that are true facts, and they shut my shit down, BT.
Why don't you get on the gravy train and start making videos for Kamala and you get paid for it?
I mean, I could get paid for it, right?
Yeah,
Like
I got the
bootleg.
email. I got the email. It was like, do you want to make it for Joe Biden? They asked me, do I want to make videos for Joe Biden? I was like, nah, I'm good.
What? Oh, what? They contacted you?
Yeah, they did. Yep.
Stop playing, cause you go in. I see you in my timeline, man, cause I'm subscribed to your channel, and I see you going in. I see, you know, you get next live or something like that, and then they wanted you to cross enemy lines and say, hey, why don't you go ahead and be part of the boule and make videos for blue support?
Well, I'll say this. It wasn't Joe Biden. It was an agency that's working on behalf of Joe Biden, asking me to create content for Joe Biden. I just, respectfully decline.
But they're speaking on behalf of the organization that represents, or the campaign that represents Joe Biden. So in a sense, they're the mouthpiece for Joe Biden for social media interaction. So in a sense, they contact you because Joe Biden wants you to make pro videos of him.
Yes.
You trying to be nice right now. I ain't gonna. He's like, nah, Dave. But it's all good though. But nah, I ain't gonna try. I don't want that kind of money. You know,
Yeah.
I'm good on that. I don't want to sell my soul on that crap, man. So let's open it up here, guys. BT, you click the link first. Man, what's on your mind, man? What you think about all this going on?
First I was thinking like, he might get Epstein, right? Trying to say for lack of better terms because of YouTube censorship. But then I started thinking, maybe he's taking the fall. So why wouldn't Diddy just do the same thing that Russell Simmons did? Just move to some country that he won't be extradited. He got the money, he got the means to do it. Why not do it? So perhaps he might be taking a fall for somebody. And he might get out. I think he might get out because he is heavily connected. And a lot of people that is people thinking that's on those tapes and stuff like that, they don't want that to get leaked. We're talking about CEOs of big record labels and all types of people, all types of political people, sports people, entertainers, athletes, everybody. So everybody is assumed to be at least linked to a Diddy party. You know what I'm saying? He is the Black Epstein. He has a whole list of people who came in and out of his parties, a whole video log of people who came out of his parties. I think he's just going to take the fall and probably get a plea deal or a slap on the wrist and probably get out on being sick for a few years. Kind of like, what's his name? Harvey Weinstein. He's now about to get out because he's sick. So I think he probably do like 4 years. That's what I'm seeing.
Just let everybody know, right now, the minimum is 15 years he's looking at right now, they're saying. That's the bare minimum, what they're saying. Okay, so you're thinking fall guy, you're thinking, how come he didn't hop on a plane, get the hell out of Dodge, pull a Russell Simmons, do some yoga in Bali, and and get a list and start talking like Russell Simmons and cut his hair bald, basically.
Yes. I mean, he has the means to do it.
Was that to you, Orlando?
Can I interject?
Go right ahead, brother.
He clearly doesn't have a deal in place, or he wouldn't have gotten indicted. Having represented people, there's two phases of the snitch game. There's the pre-indictment snitch and there's the post-indictment snitch. So the fact that he has been indicted means he hasn't entered into any agreement with the state or the government at this point. Now, that doesn't mean that he won't, depending on what he knows and if there's people higher on the food chain. But let's be honest. I mean, he's pretty high on the food chain. Mm-hmm. And based upon what we know about him, if they had cases against other people higher than him, indicting him hurts that, because now people who have exposure are going to start covering themselves. So in my experience, based upon this, now he may flip. I don't know who's higher on the food chain. I mean, there may be people higher on the food chain that they're more interested in, maybe that they think that they can get. But at this point, the government's going to play their hand a little bit. I mean, it just based upon what we saw in this indictment, he looks like the highest person on the food chain. Yeah, it's not like there were unindicted co-conspirators who looked like they were higher than him. I didn't see that in the indictment. Now, I mean, I don't know what I don't know, but just having looked at that indictment, it looks like he's the big fish.
Yeah. Now let me ask this question to you, Orlando, since you're more of a legal mind, the astute here. You did all the schooling. You didn't go to the HBCU clowning about that. You wanted to go to the white school to get your law information. So do you see a possibility that, like what BT is bringing up, that he is being used to bring other people down, because those raids early in the year has so much documented footage, audio and video footage, but they have him with that. So do you think that it looks like he's the bigger fish, but let's add the caveat of the evidence in the videos for all those 15 years?
So the lack of a bond is pressure. Because generally speaking, I mean, they give killers bond, right? So, it's the same thing with the Young Thug case. And I've been saying this, I have to be careful. The problem I've had with the Young Thug case from the beginning was they told us that they couldn't give any of those people bond because they were dangerous, right? The minute they took pleas, they all took pleas with no prison sentences, and they went home. So are they so dangerous we can't give them a bond, or are they so not dangerous that we can give them pleas and they go home? So generally speaking, in my experience, when you don't give someone and this is taking the IATA factors aside, and I don't want to get in the weeds on bond for you all, but flight risk is one of the major issues on a bond. Much like Thug and much like Diddy, where can he go in the world where nobody knows who he is? Even if he leaves, where he is. He's not a flight risk. And the fact that he didn't leave tells me he's not a flight risk, because I'll be 100. If I was Diddy, when all that stuff went south with Cassie, I would have bounced.
Yeah.
So the fact that he didn't leave for whatever reason, and we don't know, means he didn't feel the need to leave. Up until even when they apparently raided him again the second time. After they raided him the first time, if I was Diddy, I would have left, because he's got means and resources. So he didn't leave. So to me, that's indicative of someone who isn't a flight risk. So the fact that they denied him bond, and I'm going to be honest, prosecutors and judges, many judges are, it's indicative to me of them putting pressure on it. So that's why I said I read the indictment and it reads as him being the big fish. But when they deny someone like him bond, that tells me maybe they're trying to press him Because much like Thug's been in jail for 2 years now, almost, I think, or however long is it. It's definitely been over a year.
Yeah,
And he stood
like
on
a year and a half.
Yeah, he stood on a square. Most people aren't going to stand on their square. Especially, there's a difference between jail and prison, by the way. Most people don't understand that. Jail's way worse than prison. Now, Diddy's in federal custody, which is much better than state custody. But being in pre is much different than post-conviction incarceration. So, you know, the plight of someone who's in in conviction incarceration is much different. So, you know, that always tells me when someone's denied bond in a situation like this, it's always indicative to someone like me is the state's trying to press him for whatever reason. That could be wrong. I mean, I don't know what I don't know. You know, Southern District, New York is suspect. Government is suspect. Look at who the prosecutor is in this case. He's suspect. I mean, it is what it is. I don't know all the specifics. And like I said, I posed a question. Everybody knew who Diddy was and what he was doing for a long time. Why is this becoming an issue now?
It's a distraction. From what?
Before we continue here, let me get this Stuart Super here. Shout out to my man Stuart Somerville. He always be coming through in the chats here, man. Dropping that $9.99, $10 holla, man. Putting that yellow in the chat here. And y'all see how Stuart rocks every time he comes through. No questions. Y'all see that? No comments. He dropped that for the straight love of the game, baby. Man, Stuart's in the building. How you living, Stuart? Hope all's your way, man. Hope all's well your way. First things first, brother. Salud. Thank you for the holla. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. And right back at you with the $10 holla. We in the building, Stuart. Appreciate the love, man. Help keep the lights on. Be able to pay comment this month, baby. I'm gonna be able to keep the lights on. Otherwise, I'm gonna look a little dark out here, you know. Gotta keep the lights on, baby. Thank you, Stuart. All right. I like what you brought up there, T. Orlando, about him not thinking he's a flight risk, right? Because the first thing that came in my head with the initial raids earlier this year, because remember the first rumor was they raided the first house in Florida first, and he wasn't there. Everybody thought that he had hopped in a plane and left the country. Do y'all remember that? Y'all remember that first initial reaction? And so in my mind, I was thinking he's gone and coming back before they said they knew where he's at and he didn't really leave. But my thinking was they knew this was happening. His lawyer even said, we flew to New York because we knew this was going in and we wanted to walk ourselves in because, correct me if I'm wrong, T. Orlando, it's easier for bail when you turn yourself in compared to when they come and get you. Is that correct?
No doubt.
So
a lot of times, and not to cut you off, a lot of times bail's, in a case like this, and I can speak on this, bail's negotiated before you turn yourself in. Like this is the thing. In a case like this, there's communications between the prosecutor and defense attorney. As soon as, at the latest, when that raid happened that we all found about, Diddy lawyered up, and those lawyers started having communications with the prosecutors. It's generally speaking, things like this aren't a surprise. And so you have conversations with the prosecutors about it such that you negotiate these things before they happen. If there's a bond to be had, let me be clear. If the prosecutor is being straight up and there's a bond to be had, hey, the indictment's coming down, you know, we don't want to have to come and get your guy, turn himself in on this date, and then the defense attorneys had a conversation with the prosecutor. They've agreed to the terms of bond, the amount, the conditions, all that stuff. That agreement is presented to the judge. Someone turns himself in, an hour or two later, they're out. This is how these things happen on this level. So the fact that the prosecutor is moving the way that they've moved in this case tells me there's something else going on here.
Let me throw some extra information. I'll bring it back to BT here. What they introduced, I don't know if it's correct today. Someone in the chat had brought this up, but I heard when they were initially trying to negotiate for bail, they put up $50 million in cash and assets. Houses, cash, they put up $50 million, and the state will, Uncle Sam said no. And I'm hearing today they upped it when they had the initial hearing. When I went live, they were saying that they had upped it to 75 million, and they still said no.
What's the difference between 50 and 75?
I
mean, if you're a flight risk, if you're, for instance,
million?
Let's just bring it down to our level, right?
Yeah.
So if I catch a case and someone says $100,000 bond, and I agree to that, and then the state says no, 125. If I'm a bounce, I'm a bounce at 100 or 125.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the thing, and that I'm gonna tell you, I'm dumbfounded by this whole situation, and based upon what I posed in the chat. I mean, again, I'm not an advocate of obstruction or fleeing. I have no idea why Puffy stayed in the country. None whatsoever.
Me neither.
Ray Charles could have seen it.
And to go back to what you were saying to Orlando, how 50 million was another 25 million. He's literally trying to buy, he could buy his freedom from $75 million. What is that to Puffy? If I'm not mistaken, Puffy is a billionaire on paper, right?
That's what they say.
70,
I mean, just the bad boy masters alone have to be worth.
Yeah. Even if
So
he was short on cash, and
the
he did a
Biggie
fire
masters alone are worth. I can't even put a number on what Biggie's masters are worth.
But one thing we know is, let's say if he's not a billionaire, he could have a fire sale and get a couple $100 million by tomorrow.
Yes.
He had to do a fire sale.
Yeah.
Even if he took a discount. Go ahead, BT.
So if he, like you say, do a fire sale, say he get $300 million, he gives $75 million to this New York City, and he keeps the rest, and he is a flight risk. Where can you not live in this world with that rest of that money? Easily. So, like you said, that was a great point. Like 50 million, 75. What's the difference? There's no difference. And especially like you said, New York is trash when it comes to the prosecutions. I used to live in New York, and I mean, people get bonded out, bailed out for the dumbest crimes, for the little bit of things. For them to keep Diddy, that does say a lot. Though. I'm not gonna lie, that does say a lot.
That tells me they're pressing him for whatever reason. We don't know. Maybe there's a bigger fish. Maybe there. Who knows? But whenever someone's denied, and maybe this is just me being who I am, I just, when I see the government deny bond, because I see bond so freely given on a daily basis,
especially
for me, bond, the denial of any bond, we're not even saying like a stupid bond. Like it wasn't like the federal judge said, okay, $500 million bond, something that's stupid. They said no bonds. So when I hear no bonds, that to me always raises red flags in the sense that it's not about a flight risk. Because like I said, whatever. I've seen so many cases with hate, and I'm not even going to, people always talk about there isn't levels of crime. There's levels of crime. No one accused Puffy of murder.
Right.
He wasn't accused of murder. I've seen people accused of murder who get bond. So when I hear, and I'm not saying if everything he did, that would be bad, right? I think we can all agree that's less than murder. Let me correct.
Yes.
I'm on your channel, Dave. Deletion. That's less than deletion.
But hold on, though. I mean, if there's some illegal bussy going on, some people might want to go through deletion. I'm just saying.
I just kind of look at it when I look at that and go, if we're not talking about
taken away. I'm sorry, I'm cracking a bad joke. Who want their bussy taken away?
I just kind of look at it when I see certain things where I'm like, I hear everything that was in his indictment.
Okay.
Yeah. No matter how I view it, people have been accused of worse things.
I mean, not for nothing. Was he accused? I'm trying to use YouTube terminologies. PDF files. Was anything underage in those files?
We have never heard about underage diddling with Diddy. That's one thing. That's Epstein. Like if we want to compare the two, when we say, we joke around saying Epstein 2.0. The difference is we got young people with Epstein. We just got grown women and bussy action going on with Diddy.
Mm-hmm.
Same actions, but we got 18 and over with Diddy.
Elias Barnes in the chat, I feel you. I suspect, from the beginning we heard about bids at his house parties.
Well, remember the raid from earlier the year, all 3 homes, they confiscated audio and video footage. So we don't know what's on that video footage, but one thing I didn't add in the beginning of this live stream is that when Cassie first came out, when the beginning of the floodgates, she stated, or at least her representative stated, that she has Kim Porter's a phone before she passed away with all kinds of footage and audio and voicemails and things of that nature. And I was in this live stream stating, how does Cassie have Kim Porter's phone? But
I'm gonna be a legal nerd. I'm gonna be a legal nerd. Even if she did, she can't authenticate it. So,
well, how about this? On was it Rod? What's his name? Rod, Hot Rod, whatever name, the producer.
Oh,
didn't he have, I guess, still shots of Stevie J allegedly, as you call it, in some wussy? I can't even say it right. So
bussy, yeah,
yeah. So he was allegedly into that. I mean, still shots, and that was in court. Also, they said that they described somebody who had a residency in Las Vegas, which I mean, read between the lines is Usher. I think also they mentioned something. Read between the lines was what's the name?
We from Atlanta. You can't hate on Usher.
Well, no, Usher's from Tennessee. Let's get it straight. He just Usher's from Tennessee.
Tennessee. Wow.
Yeah.
You can't hate on Usher out of Atlanta.
All I gotta ask is,
I live in Cobb County, so
we forget that Usher's first album.
Hey, I went to Miller Grove. I'm giving out too much information now.
Okay. I gotta hear this now.
I'm just gonna say me and Usher grew up in a similar environment.
Whoa. What do you mean similar? Were you around with Usher's first album when Diddy?
No, we gonna move on. We gonna move on.
I don't know why you said that.
Hey, I'm gonna ask this question. So you said similar. I need to know.
I'm gonna say we grew up in the same. We grew up in the same part of Atlanta, at the same time.
Did you just dry snitch on yourself
at the same time?
T. Lance, were you 15 years old in them parties with Diddy with Usher?
Bro, when I was 15 years old, I was shooting basketball after school. That's what I was.
You know what though? I just thought about something here. I gotta retract what I said here because Usher was underage, allegedly. In that first album, Usher's only a year older than me. In that first album, when he lived with Diddy, there's some stories about what going on with Usher being underage over there. So I got to retract that back here as may not being the complaint. But I'm just
they
saying,
said the same thing about Aaliyah, and that first album was fire.
Yeah, it was. You know,
that second album, dude, all of Aaliyah's albums were fire.
Somehow R. Kelly's coming in the mix now, huh? We're gonna bring R. Kelly here.
R. Kelly told y'all, use your minds. Use your minds.
Let me pose this question to everybody here. I've mentioned it, but I'm just kind of curious y'all individual thoughts. Less than 2 months from the election, Diddy has been a staunch Democrat. He was front and center on some of the biggest campaigns to get black people or black and brown, minority, whatever you want to categorize us, whatever, since 2003 up until 2020 about vote or die. We got to vote Democrat. We got to do this, and this here. Now, I introduced in 2020, he questioned Joe Biden saying, we're going to hold our vote. And then now, in this current administration, we're less than 2 months away, and this could be the biggest distraction from the clusterfuck of this election right now on both sides, but it's more of a cluster on the Democrat side. I'm curious, do you guys think the way I'm thinking? It may not be true. It's my conspiracy Brother Jones hat on, thinking we got to get rid of Puffy. And it's the biggest distraction to get rid of him, why we're going through this crap right now. He pissed off the wrong Democrats. Do y'all think so? Or am I pushing?
I'll say that it might be some truth to that, but I'm not going to say that it is true. The reason why I said that because, all right, T. Orlando, you from Atlanta. Killer Mike was on some show. I forgot what show he was on, but he said that he's not going to endorse nobody, right? Few weeks later, he get arrested at the Grammys. I remember, let's go to Sexy Red. Sexy Red was like, she's rocking with Trump. Now her sex tape get leaked.
I kind of like Sexy Red, by the way.
From Atlanta.
I don't think she got let me pull back on that Sexy Red leak because she leaked her own nipples on Twitter 3 days ago.
I'm not talking about her going like this. I'm talking about a whole tape that she was having sex with somebody and he recorded it, then he uploaded it. Oh, I think, matter of fact, she was asleep and something naked in his bed. And he uploaded it. She didn't upload it. He uploaded it a few days after she said that she's rocking with Trump.
Does she count? Do we count bust downs?
I mean, I'm just saying, as long as you push, if you're a rapper pushing against the Democratic Party, things do happen sometimes. I'll give you, that's 3 examples, right? Diddy, Killer Mike, Sexy Red. That's 3 levels of entertainment and hip hop, from the lowest to the top.
I hear that. I can respect that. What do you think about that, T. Orlando?
I'm not going to go that far. I just kind of look at it as, I mean, I'm the biggest conspiracy person. I don't know about, I mean, I don't put anything above the government. So, you know, that combined with no bail, like I said, that indicates me that there's pressure going on. I don't know. I can't take it to the presidential level. I mean, the guy who's prosecuting him is a Biden appointee, for whatever that's worth. You know, this whole thing's been very suspect from the beginning. I mean, again, all these rumors, all this, everything we've seen in this indictment, everybody's known about this for a long time. None of this stuff is, oh God, I never knew any of this, or nobody ever made these allegations.
Nobody's shocked.
All of this stuff came out after Cassie. Cassie's allegations came out when Puffy cut the faucet off for her and her family. I asked the question in the chat, where is all this coming from? I don't know. But I don't know if this is, I don't know where it's coming from, but I haven't seen anything to connect it to the presidential election.
Just want to throw that out there, because there's always something that could be like, that's a bridge too far, or we'll hear 10 years later it was the catalyst of something else. So I figure introduce it, because it's very ironic. The last couple of days with Kamala Harris, she's been getting killed with her recent appearances and her talking points, the things that's been on live TV and the things she's been saying, and just like, hey, and especially too Trump, the bang 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 bang, recently, and all of a sudden, then why don't we just end all this mess right now? Go get Diddy. Go get Diddy. I know, just a thought. I could be pushing it, but you
in
never
fairness,
know.
though, Dave, like the amount of time between when the whole Cassie stuff got, media attention and the indictment, that seems about right for the amount of time it would have taken. Okay, Cassie stuff came out. The U.S. attorney's like, okay, let's look into it. And, it would have taken about this amount of time to put together the indictment of that like.
Got another question to you guys here. This is a joke, but it's a real question. Especially for you, T. Orlando, being knowing what you know here. Isn't it kind of odd or par for the course? They're going so hard on the 1,000 bottles of baby oil like it was dope on the table.
So, okay, to speak on that, as someone who I spent about 5 years doing discrimination and sexual harassment litigation. When you're filing complaints of any, sexual nature, you always put all that stuff in the complaints. It's just par for the course. It's your opportunity to put all the dirt out there to make the defendant look as bad as possible without there being any real kind of pushback. So I'm not surprised by that. Like, whenever you're filing a complaint, that's just kind of the rule of thumb. You throw everything out there because they're going to deny it anyway, but the more sensational you can make it. And then, and on top of that, the media just takes that. Well, it was in the complaint, this, that, and the other. So, like, people just report that as being fact when it's not. It's an allegation. And people will allege all kinds of shit. And so, like, if you're from the plaintiff standpoint, you're best served by putting all that stuff out there on the jump. When you're a plaintiff in this type of situation, or you're the government in this situation, which in the context of a criminal case, you're the plaintiff when you're the government, you're best served by putting all your cards on the table. You don't play hide the ball when you're the plaintiff or you're the government in this situation. You throw all the dirt that you arguably have out there against the person, because especially in a case like this, they're trying this case not only in a courtroom, but in a court of public opinion.
Yeah.
So the worst they can make him look, because they know the media, anything they put in the complaint, the media is going to take as fact. Regardless, that's just the nature. Unfortunately, anytime anybody makes an accusation against someone, the public just takes it as fact. So, if you're prosecuting a claim, if you're prosecuting the defendant, you throw as much dirt as you can out there. And from a defendant standpoint, it's unfortunate because different defense attorneys and different people have different takes on how you respond to stuff like this. More often than not, you're quiet because you don't want to say anything. More often, you don't want to put yourself in a box. More often, you don't want to give credence to stuff by responding to it. And so more often than not, people are going to be quiet when they're accused of these things and stuff like that. So if the only voice out there is the government saying 1,000 pounds of baby oil, like it's, what was the movie Old School where they were having the baby oil wrestling?
Yeah.
Like if that's the stuff you throw out there, that's all people are going to hear and know. And so it makes him look bad. And again, we all knew this about Puffy. I'm going to be honest. And I put this in the chat. I've moved in a lot of different circles. I'm not surprised by anything I heard in that indictment.
Yeah.
From how I know people move, the more I'm gonna be careful and just say I'm not surprised by anything I heard in that indictment, because that's how a lot of people move who have that access and those means. Not everybody, clearly.
But I want to piggyback on what you were saying, T. Orlando, how, they use 1,000 bottles of baby oil and KY jelly, what have you, just to put the perception out there of what Diddy is doing. You know what I'm saying? Just like
that
the
KY jelly is important, by the way.
Yes, it is important. It's important for the dudes, okay? There's a lot of bussy action going on. Because in the complaint, we got to remember, male sex workers, and you're hearing KY jelly. It's a lot of lathering going on. A lot of lathering. They gotta warm these guys up. They gotta go ahead and get it ready for the easy slide in, okay? So they
KY jelly is exceptionally important.
There's probably more bottles of that than baby oil, but I digress. But I'm saying, just like the Cassie tape came out, it was already past the statute of limitations. It was just to put the perception out there to make Diddy look bad. Make him look that Cassie already got her bread. So she didn't need that tape to be exposed. But they needed to make him look like a monster before they go in. And now Cassie tape came out. The raids. Then you got the bottles of KY jelly and baby oil and what have you, and all the, the glides, whatever they got out there. So you got all that going on. So
they lube in the situation is what you're saying.
Yes. For lack of better terms, yes.
I'm gonna piggyback what you're saying there, BT, because you're right. The statute of limitation was up. So, and I saw someone in the chat ask, did Cassie have an NDA? Would an NDA matter how big bombshell she dropped?
So can I speak on that real quick?
Yes.
So as someone who's worked in these environments, whenever you have a settlement agreement, there's always a non-disclosure provision, right? But a term of every non-disclosure provision is, hey, you're allowed to talk if you are subpoenaed to talk or if it's in court. So she can't just on her own go out there and talk about this stuff. But if the government issues a subpoena or the court issues a subpoena and asks her to come testify, then she can talk about everything. So the non-disclosure is total.
He froze.
I haven't been involved in 1,000 of these. I don't want to overplay my stroke. Let's say a couple of hundred of these. Every one of these settlement agreements has a non-disclosure, and it has a carve out for subject to lawful court orders or subpoenas. So if this case goes to trial, Cassie's testifying, and it's not going to violate any non-disclosure. I'm assuming her lawyer had 2 cents and put in a carve out for that.
So who I want to see testify is Fox versus Bentley.
Ooh.
And I believe on that note, I gotta go.
Hey, BT, you gonna hit me with that one and bounce. Oh, we haven't heard Farnsworth Bentley at all from the beginning of the allegations. Cassie, before every matter of fact, for the last 8 years, I've been seeing a running joke on Twitter, X saying, whenever we hear Farnsworth, we know it's on. Before this came out, that is the man that we need to hear from. If and when the government subpoenas his ass, because they're gonna talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
The making the band, just the season of making the band alone.
Let me back up. Dave, can I back up real quick?
Go right ahead.
So just for those who are uninitiated, when the feds indict you, you're done.
See it, BT.
The feds' conviction rate is north of 90%. So the fact that they've indicted him means they have everything they need to convict him. The question then becomes, like I said,
okay,
how much time he's going to do and who he's going to flip on. He's done.
Right.
He's done. That's why I just said the minute all this stuff went south, I don't know why he didn't bounce. He's done right now, especially now that they have him on no bond. He's done. He's going to take a plea. He's either going to get convicted or he's going to take a plea. If I had to bet my money on it, he's going to take a plea.
Or he's going to be Epstein. That's what I said in the beginning of the show. Either
that's always a possibility.
He's in jail or Epstein. Either
so
way,
if
one of the
I had
options will end.
If I had to bet money on it, I say it's like a 95% chance he's going to take a plea to some extent. He's done. This case is done. He's not walking. Okay. The chances of him walking are very slim. But like when the feds pass down and the feds do not indict, this is the difference between. So the joke is in state court is they'll indict a ham sandwich. They indict everything. They're political officers. They're subject to elections, this, that, and the other. Feds aren't. They're appointed. When they indict someone, they have aid to get a case, to get a conviction. He's done.
That's what I kind of figured, because they're going to use their resources, their time. They're going to cross T's and dot I's before they even go out and get you to the program.
They have unlimited resources. That's why I said, when I said the thousands of hours they spent, I meant that. The thousands of hours they spent leading up to this indictment. He's done. The question is, how much time is he going to serve? As someone who's been in these circles, that's just what I'm telling you. The only question is how much time he's going to, unless there's something we don't know. I mean, you never know what you don't know. If there's some kind of violation of his Fourth Amendment rights, okay, that's unexpected. But this isn't your county district attorney in Middle Georgia. This is the U.S. attorney in the Southern District of New York. These are some of the best lawyers in the country. He's done. It's just a matter of how much time.
And let me ask this to you. Let me pose this to you, T. Orlando, because one of the things that the prosecutors had said early before you had hopped on, they mentioned this is just the beginning. They're looking for other people. So, from your experience, we know Diddy's done in some form or fashion. He's cooked. It all depends on how many years he serves, basically, right? Do you feel in this circumstance we're going to see an umbrella of people, because there's RICO charge in this complaint as well? So how confident are you seeing like major people is going to get walked up in that bad boy, or is he going to be the complete fall guy?
Like I said, I didn't look at the indictment other than when I walked into the chat, I didn't get a notification, so you were already in it.
Yeah, okay, got it.
As you were reading stuff, I was like, he looks like the big fish.
Okay.
That may be strategic. I mean, he might in fact be the big fish where they're just like, case in point with the thug trial in Atlanta. Like, it looks like that's who they were really going after. It's my understanding they never offered Thug a plea. So it might be, in fact, that Diddy is the big fish. I don't know. If he's the big fish, then he doesn't have a lot of wiggle room. You know, I know in Star Wars Episode 1, they said there's always a bigger fish. Sometimes there ain't always a bigger fish.
Sometimes
the
target's the target.
Yeah, if he's the target, then it's just the conversation becomes, do you take a plea for 9 years or do you risk trial for 20 years? That then becomes the conversation.
Because they're saying minimum 15 years right now.
I'm sorry?
They're saying a minimum of 15 years right now is the initial.
Yeah, I know, but you can plead it down to a lesser included, which, you know, there's always, I mean, you know, there's always wiggle room on that because you can just null across the higher, blah, blah, blah. There's things you can do. Because this is the thing, the state generally, unless the prosecutor's the asshole, they will always take it's a negotiation. Okay, I don't want to have to go to trial. If I have to go to trial, I'm going to go balls to the wall and I'm going to ask for everything. But if you'll take a plea, and in fact, in federal court, if you take ownership of what happened, the district court judge will often, generally cut you a break. If you force the prosecutor to go to trial in federal court, they're going to hammer you. It's not like in state. It's just very different. So I just say all that to say he's cooked. He's going to take some kind of criminal liability. It's just a matter of how much. Like I said, save there being some kind of, Fourth Amendment or something else out there that we don't know about, which, again, from the Southern District of New York, I'm going to assume they cross their T's and dot their I's because that's kind of, of the federal district prosecutors, that's one of the, quote unquote, glamour districts where all the best prosecutors want to go. Southern District of Florida, Southern District of Miami, District Court of, New York.
They're down the street from my job too. I actually walked in front of that building when I was in New York a few weeks ago when I was in town. So when I saw him out there, I was like, oh snap, I'm right down the street from there.
Yeah. Yes. But anyways, Dave, I gotta let you go too.
I appreciate you hopping on, guys. That's T. Orlando here, one of the biggest trolls on YouTube. So when y'all are in the chats and y'all like, what the hell is this dude? This is this man right here. Very smart, astute, and knows his shit. He just talks shit to everybody here. Appreciate you coming on, man.
All right, I'll holler at you later.
Thank you, man.
Yes,
Holla
sir.
back. That's my man, T. Orlando. We have Broken Traditions on, man. I like that conversation. We're early into it, guys. This is just beginning. But, we don't know a lot, but this is why I admit that I am not a lawyer. I am not a legal presence, but by me being a middle-aged black man, I'm a certified paralegal. But since I'm not a lawyer, you got to go ahead and get the people who knows these type of things. And shout out to my man, T. Orlando. I got to say, he jokes in chats. Y'all may see him in other channels. Like, what the hell is going on with this man? But you know what, though? He knows what he's talking about. He's been around a lot of high-profile cases. And I like the fact that we can have conversations just to get more information from people who does this for a living. I'm not going to claim to have a YouTube channel and start talking like I know everything. I'm going to talk to people who are the experts in certain matters. We're talking about medical items, we're talking about politics, or like this, the law here. And just to see how all this is unfolding right now, this is just the beginning, guys. This is just the tip of the iceberg here because they just arrested him. So can you imagine with the leaks that's going to come out slowly but surely, the little dribbles is going to come out in the next few months, whether these leaks are certain things that the government, the United States wants us to know as far as getting the sentiment of public opinion, or certain leaks regarding these videos that they have that they'll confiscate, or the audio material or anything like that. And just, of course, certain leaks of people who may testify. Like, we're just in the mere beginning stages, guys. Like, what we're feeling and what we're seeing now is nothing. Because you got to remember, we're gonna be to like next year. Because remember, just use the example of OJ, the NBA Finals was going on when OJ had his car chase when they arrested him. It wasn't until the next year, I remember being in school, that they had the trial here. So we're literally going to be seeing a little bit of information here and there, but we're just in the beginning, guys. We're just in the stepstones. It's just popping off here, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen next, because let's just keep it honest, man. I'm 44 years old. I've been knowing of or about P. Diddy, Puffy, Sean Combs since like 1988. You know, since I was young as hell, like single digits in elementary school, you know, him being in Uptown Records and then starting Bad Boy and then seeing the genesis of the beginning of him and all the stuff that we grew up on in the early 90s. For as what I know right now, this man has been involved in my upbringing, whether you say positive or negative, and influence and in music and TV for a majority of my life here. And then what we're seeing here is a man going down, possibly, more than likely. It says in Canada, they're already looking at Drake. And Thomas, I'm glad you brought that up, because in my mind, I remember a video that I saw of Drake and Diddy. You might see this pop up on Twitter, and you might see it in other like social media circles, where Drake is talking to Diddy, and he's basically thanking him for setting the standard on these parties and showing them how to do it and run the way here, right? So when I see little videos and snippets, you know what I'm saying? That's just a snippet, Dave. You're taking it too far. But how many times was Drake at those parties before him and Diddy had his falling out? Or, you know, whatever the case may be. Because you don't think that Diddy had cameras in every single room recording 24 hours a day, and Drake's on that footage? Any major heavy hitter that is at a party that stepped foot in there, and then the federal government recognize those faces, they're going to put them on Front Street. They're going to put them out there to see what they know. That's right, T. Orlando. Take that, take that, take that, take that, take that. This is, man, I mean, it's a lot to digest right now. And the thing that I'm wondering about is when we get more information, how this going to impact the whole media cycle. Because me personally, my whole thread, my whole media, I got multiple accounts on multiple different social media accounts, and Diddy just took over. We literally went from the election and, you know, the migrants and eating cats and cat sandwiches and all kinds of stuff with the Venezuelans and the Haitians and Kamala Harris and Trump. And all of a sudden then Diddy just took over. All it took was that, and Diddy just took over. You know, so, but one thing that we do know, just like last week, guys, it's kind of funny how news cycles work here, because there's going to be a pause in the action, because when there's no information being leaked, then of course we got to go on to the next, because now with social media just moves so freaking fast. Remember, it was just last week, we were on the Shannon Sharp gate. Remember, we was on that with the IG Live gate, you know, and it's kind of funny how that's gone to the background now. That seems like 3 or 4 years ago. Shannon Sharp went ahead and went on IG Live. We thought that was last week. It feels like 2 years ago now with everything that's happened in the last calendar week. So this may take a pause for a little bit once we get through it, and then we're going to get back to the regular crazy news cycle, because news is happening so fast, but then we're going to get some more information. When that dribble comes out, that dribble's going to be a goddamn faucet leak. Man, oh man, guys. But Thomas, I wouldn't be shocked about Drake. Any other major heavy hitter that you've seen in any video with Diddy, all you got to say is, yeah, they're going to talk to him. Any actor, any actress, anybody that you have any questionable ideas against them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that dude may get down. He might be zesty. We joke around about it, right? But you don't know. You just say stuff because we're, cracking the dozens. Now it's going to be like, oh, that dude, yeah, they need to talk to him. But that is the biggest question mark. We have not seen Fonzworth Bentley in years. I think he's a special witness. I think, if they bring him to the front of the congregation, man, talk about if walls could talk. Because I guarantee you, like I was mentioning earlier, I was joking around, but just take what he may have seen just from being around making a band. Come on, guys. I'm telling you, J-Lo's going to be in the indictment. They had to talk to J-Lo. I wouldn't be shocked if they went and talked to Ben Affleck just by guilty by association. Just throwing it out there. All the big names and heavy hitters that we have seen around this man has been in his house, has been to his parties, has kicked it. Politicians. I don't know how far this goes down. Don't be shocked if they talk to the Obamas. You can't put it past anybody when you're that strong, that powerful, that high in the food chain, and you have held parties and you kicked it and you donated money to the bigs and best of them. And Tierlando says, that's why this will never go to trial. That's Tierlando saying he think there may be a plea, right? Or, like I said, Epstein. That's the thing that what I'm wondering too. Here's my conspiracy Brother Jones hat here. Let me just throw this out here again. The powers that be felt that Puffy had to go down no matter how much evidence he has. And do y'all think like me, cynical wise, like we know some folks gonna go down, but we can't bring the whole damn ship down, so we gotta take Puffy down before the whole ship goes down? Just a thought, guys. Just a thought. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but you know what though? We've seen a whole bunch of crazy stuff, man. T. Lee's, what's going on, T. Lee, saying he must have crossed Clive. Clive passed over Harrell for his boy toy, and he's protected him since the club shooting. Hey, you know what, T. Lee? He could have crossed Clive, or maybe Clive's in on some stuff too. I mean, there's so many questions. I can see the one side, T. Lee's like, yo, he messed with the wrong zesty man. You know what I'm saying? And Clive using his connections. Or maybe Diddy had enough on Clive, and someone behind Clive was saying, we can't take Clive down. I mean, it's just so many questions. I'm not trying to go out to the atmosphere like that, but these are logical ideas. You can say, hey, man, nobody's off limits. Everybody's available here because it's Hollywood. This is the original elite, man. All kinds of crazy freak offs happen. And like Atia Orlando said, like, I have seen some things too. And just to understand that when you get to a place of power and money, it's like, yo, nothing is too far these days. If anything, that may seem natural to these people in the circles here, He says, raid before indictment, they took his evidence. Stevie D says, yeah, certain people will be protected no matter what. I mean, these are little questions. Like, let me just throw this out here. I know I'm just may say I'm babbling, right? What if we have a scenario where Diddy just got pissed off, saying, I'm taking all you mofos down? What if we don't know behind the scenes, not all, but you know what I'm trying to say. Maybe we got to a situation, Diddy's fighting about Ciroc, there may be some disagreements around some heavy hitters, and someone said the wrong thing to the wrong person, and then next you know, Diddy's like, all right then, fuck you. And he said the wrong fuck you to somebody, and someone may perceive that fuck you as, he's taking me down, fuck you. Oh no. He gotta go, and maybe some collateral damage, but let's just cut off so many things here before the whole ship sinks. Like with Epstein here, it's so convenient that he's no longer with us in his jail cell here because they felt that him being gone was a better situation, and no matter what question marks being asked, than bringing the whole damn thing down. Ain't that kind of crazy that we can have these kind of thoughts, and then at one time people can say, man, you're just wilding, you're going to bridge too far, and now we're saying, maybe. Possibly. Who knows? Who knows? Stevie's like, that's what I'm saying. It's the same way they're going after Trump. Yeah, man. The same way, right? And the one thing I want to say to people when they're going high in the gravy train, when they're trying to go after Trump and things of that nature, you got to remember, they're going after people that, quote unquote, that you may not like. If you don't like the fact that how he moved things of that nature, just know they're going to go after people that you may be pro for, pro-black or black or whatever, the blue side, Democrat. Hey, man, whenever somebody gets beside themselves and somebody who's a little bit higher than that person says that person's got to go down, hey, that person's going to go down. How we look at it, how they go down, whether they get arrested, whether they get unalived, whether it's by their own doing. Because let's make sure, let's just call a buck and a spade here. if these complaints, and they got the evidence here, he did illegal stuff here. But the fact that it took this long for them to say, all right, we can wipe Puffy off the chessboard now, right? What are you saying here? Dave, wait, hold on, Dave Cat Sandwiches, yeah. Until Nowhere was protected, he's not now. This stuff is from up to 20 years ago. He's going to jail. Yeah, he's going down. That's one thing I'm not denying. He's going down. He ain't getting away from this. It's just a matter of how many years this man serves or if he's going to be alive to serve them. That's what we got to look at the situation here. How many years he's going to serve, or is he going to be alive to serve those years, T. Orlando, even if he pleads out? Because some people thinking that every day that this man is breathing is another day that's a liability. Am I right or wrong, guys? Every day that this man is breathing is another day that potential money can be messed up because of what he knows and what he has, even if they confiscated. We don't know what they confiscated if he has backup drives. You know, we just know what they went and raised in houses here. And if they got so much there, we know about the other spots. If he got backups and if he got stuff that they didn't get, it's just so many things that I'm thinking about saying, man, they're going to have to shut this man up because a whole bunch of people is going to be involved in the Fugazi. Man, Thomas says that young jock trial was one big clusterfuck. Me, Young Thug. Yeah, it's still going down. Says Ep had to go down for a successor to move everything. Hey, man, they couldn't let that man talk, T. Lee, right? They couldn't let that man say hello anymore. They didn't know if they get you didn't know how he could have been having a bad day and say the wrong thing. He unfortunately, they say he had to go. And it's kind of ironic now that we ain't really talking much about that or his lady girl that was behind the whole thing too as well. They made a Netflix doc about it, but you know, it just kind of got buried in the media cycle now. No one really talks about it no more. We bring it up because of Diddy, but you know, Epstein is like, yeah, we you know, get Epstein, but it's like, yo, it's like out of sight, out of mind now, right? When they want you gone, you gone. When they want you gone, you gone. You know what I'm saying, guys? Man, you know, so I'm just wondering, as we go forward, the celebrities, who's going to get exposed? Not for the bad things they're doing, for their lifestyle, whether you think that's bad or not. I'm talking about exposed and people who's created and crafted images for themselves to be presented to the world as their entertainers, artists, singers, rappers, musicians, actors, and actresses, and they, you know, donate to certain causes and live a certain type of way, right? The image that's being projected onto how they want to be viewed for, you know, their audience. I'm kind of curious now, the leaks of these people in these parties and the image that's being crafted and how there's going to be a tarnishing of so many people who, quote unquote, America or the world loves. And then in actuality, it's like, yo, you just as nasty or just as worse as Diddy. Diddy's just hosting the party. You probably called him up so that you can get engaged in your diabolical activities. Isn't that something to think about, guys? Isn't that something that I don't know if that's crossed your mind or not? When you're seeing people that are the darlings of TV in Hollywood, and you're seeing them on TV and they're donating to certain causes and they're always smiling, and then next thing you know, we're gonna see some footage of some tapes and they're messing around doing some bad, wrong activities. All these things are coming down the pipe here, guys. What are you saying here? Dezane was completely scapegoated. Yeah, man, we don't hear about her, man, but no, I was saying people found out about him, so they had to get rid of him so that they could show could go on and people think it ended with him. Yeah, thank you, T. Lee. I hear that. Yep, there you go, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, some fans will be heartbroken for sure. Oh, some a lot. It's gonna, man. Can you, like, let me throw an example out here that just pops into my mind here, right? I'm not saying it did anything bad. I just want to use them as an example. Like John Legend and his wife, Chrissy Teigen. Is her name Chrissy Teigen, right? He's been associated with Diddy. He's been to Diddy parties, you know. They've been around the same political circles with the Democratic Party and things of that nature. And lately, we've seen him come under fire because it look like John Legend ain't got no backbone when it comes to his wife, and Chrissy's look like a nasty sucker. I've seen her take a bath, trying to get her body makeup off, and she's taking actually not a bath. She's taking a bath, and she's marinating in all the nasty ass water of the makeup in there. She's doing all kinds of stuff that doesn't make no sense, right? You could take a shower and she's marinating in dirty water, right? I'm just using them in examples like, what if they got them on some janky stuff? Yeah, he is a simp to Orlando. He's a simp. I'm just saying though, what if they got them on some janky stuff? Just use them as an example. I'm not saying they are. Just use them as an example. Like people who look at them and it's like, oh my God, I love them. They're contributing to causes. They help homelessness. John Legend's he's a great singer. Oh, the ordinary people. We just don't know which way to go. You know what I'm saying? And then next you know, you hear about them two at a party and then both of them are doing some things. You're gonna say, oh damn, simp ass John Legend doing that stuff too? With his crazy ass wife, Chrissy? I mean, I'm not trying to, saying they did anything. I'm just using examples like, you use them as the example, like, we're going to see some Hollywood elites, if he's not unalived, that's going to throw their image into tarnished status. I did broken the song. We just don't know which way to go. We're just ordinary people. That's what Diddy's singing right now. Diddy wishes that he was an ordinary person right now. Take that, ordinary people. Hey, man. I'm telling you, Diddy wished that he was an ordinary people right now. Hey, you know what, though, T. Orlando? Hey, man. Every day, remember, that interview was in January. Where Cat went on Club Shay Shay, Shannon Sharp's podcast, and said all he said. And slowly but surely, as now we're in September, moving to October, Cat Williams ain't been lying. He been telling the truth, baby. He said that there's gonna be people gonna be exposed. And we thought, man, that's just Cat being Cat. He drinking his little liquor, man. Has Cat been wrong? Was he wrong about Steve Harvey? Was he wrong about what we talk about here with Diddy? Was he wrong about all the other items that he's been talking about? Man, know what, guys? I feel like going back and watching that interview again now because I might have missed some nuggets. That's going to come out before the end of the year. We get to Thanksgiving. We get to Christmas. We're going to get some more stuff going out here, man. Man. So many people clown Cat Williams. So many people said Cat is just being hateful. Cat is just being Cat. Cat should be bigger than what he is, but because the way he moves, that's why he's not bigger than what he is. That's what Kevin Hart said at one point. And all of a sudden, then little by little, the things that Cat Williams said, they've come to be true. Not all at one time, just little by little, not just his Club Shay Shay interview, the things he said over the years. All of a sudden then, it's like, wow, this happened. What's next now? What's next? Something to ask here. He says, nah, that dude ain't Dave. Diddy is singing, locked up. Hey, come on, locked up. he on that Akon? He on that Akon? They won't let me down. Oh, no, I'm not gonna do that. No. Says, I rewatched it this morning. Did you, CBD? Yeah, I'm thinking about adding that back to the queue again, man. It was a funny interview. It was entertaining. But now I'm just curious about the details that may have went over my head. Like I listened to it, but it was like, hold on, bring it back. Bring it back. It went over my head, but bring it back, baby. Yeah, hey, T. Orlando. I'm glad you brought his name up too before I get out of here. TD Jakes. How many people who are supposed to be of the cloth, people who are supposed to be men of God, men who are supposed to be leaders in the community. We've seen TD Jakes hang out with Diddy on more than one occasion on video, speak glowingly about him, hug each other. You see him on brunches and lunches and dinners and special occasions and events and dinners, right? Not just a one-off thing where you do a photo of, hey, what's going on, TD? What's going on, Diddy? They take a picture, boop, 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 boop. Hey, all right, good one. Hey, stay up, black man, keep it moving. No. You just don't see them in one photo op. We're talking about TDJ's talking about this is his friend. They've hung out. They spend time together. They've communicated. They've worked on several other items outside of just running into each other on an entertainment basis, on a friendly basis. What would happen if we saw not just TD Jakes, but anybody who's associated in this world who is a spiritual leader, a religious leader, somebody who has a place of upper echelon status in that community? Whoops, earpiece died. All right, we're back. Or anybody of that status and that level who is talking about from the pulpit, speaking of the word of the Bible, the word of God, and talking about deliverance, repentance, talking about being better with the higher power, but then information gets leaked. They're also involved in this debauchery, all this janky way of living that is unscrupulous here. Hey, man. I mean, we've seen multiple religious leaders and people who are supposedly, of the cloth outside of TD Jakes who have spent time with Diddy. At this point right now, am I off to think anybody, not just a photo op, anybody that has spent time kicking it with him is in on the baby oil, is in on the KY, and you want to know something? The 3 major words that they say when they hang out is what? Touch your toes. Y'all didn't hear that. Y'all didn't see that one coming, right? I said all I have to say. y'all didn't think I was gonna go there. It's like, yo, when you see who you see, what do? You get all that baby oil to get them all lathered up. You don't miss no spots. Got to get them all glistening. Got to get them all gleaming, right? And then you get the KY jelly out, and you know what you tell them? You tell them 3 words. Touch your toes. Hey, I didn't mean to crack that joke, man. But you know what I'm trying to get at here, guys. You know what I'm trying to get at here. Man. That's what T. Orlando says. B-dubs love brunch. It's annoying. Hey, man, brunch is a big thing. Hey, T. Orlando, how the brunches in Atlanta? Hey, T. Orlando, how come you don't go to the brunches in Atlanta? It's like 100 women to 10 dudes. How come you don't go to them brunches, brother? Jay, what's going on, Jay? Said Jay-Z and Beyonce have been quiet as F. This is why. Hey, man, I haven't brought them up. I'm kind of curious, too. What videos is Jay-Z and Beyonce on? Let's throw another thing out there. Jay-Z snitched. No, let me stop. Don't throw that there. Don't even throw that out there. Jay-Z's like, oh, we got to get Diddy out of here. He went ahead and he threw himself at the mercy of the U.S. government. Here you go. Here's Diddy. Serve him up. It's your boy. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm just talking on my ass right now. But real talk though, Jay-Z's at those parties. We seen Jay-Z with Diddy at a whole bunch of events. I'm kind of curious what's on them cameras. Was Jay smart enough just to show up and leave? Or was Jay involved in some debauchery as well? Jay, Meek Mill, any major rappers, Robert Kraft, the Obamas, anybody in Congress or entertainment, white, black, doesn't matter. They all in on it, man. Derek said the difference between Diddy and Epstein is minor stuff. Yeah, minor stuff. Hey, man. Hey, that's a play on words, right, Derek? Minor. A minor. Hey, come on, man. That's a play on words, Derek. Come on, brother. Shout out to Ellis back again with the $2 holla, putting that blue in the chat. Says Kevin Hart apologized to Kat a few days ago. Well, hold on, Ellis. Hey, brother. Salud. Thank you for the holla. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Right back at you with the super. Ellis, did he really apologize, or did he say, I shouldn't have spoke on Kat? I may gotta watch that again when he was talking to Charlemagne the God with his weak self right now these days, man. I swear he's part of that boule too right now, man. But let me ask this question here: did he really? I need to watch it again, Ellis. Did he really apologize, or he just felt a certain type of way? He felt remorse that he shouldn't have spoke out the way he did, because he basically said that Cat Williams was a drug addict on the Breakfast Club. And then that's what got Cat. I mean, Cat Hart always took shots at. Cat always took shots at Kevin. But when Kevin was trying to defend Tiffany Haddish, and then he was trying to say that's why you're doing drugs and you should have been there, but you messed it up. And then at that point, then Cat Williams like, oh no, you're gonna call me a drug addict, you know? And then next, you know, he just went off the deep end. So I'm just kind of curious, did he really apologize, or basically said I shouldn't have said that? Because there's a difference. I need to replay it again. Appreciate the holla, Ellis. Thank you for putting that out there. TD, I should have swallowed Jakes. Yeah, Thomas, swallowed. I said, tear answer from the window to the walls, baby, because them B-dubs in Atlanta is trash. Hey, there's some easy wins, though, for T. Orlando. Sometimes you need an easy win every now and then. Shooting fish in the barrel, baby. Just need an easy win. Said Jay and Babe probably got niggas crawling their knees with dime chains around their necks. Yeah, Jay. Biggie introduced Jay-Z back in the day, so I'm sure the diddler had a few minors, Derek Greenwald. Yeah, man. Oh, my God. It's a lot, guys. It's a lot. Hey, y'all, I'm going to get out of here, man. We're knocking on 3.5 hours, man. I don't want to, we're going to be back, guys. Check it out. We know right now. There's a little bit more information, but I can't be here for 5 hours tonight. Shout out to my man, BT, Broken Traditions, man. Hey, if you guys get a chance, go and subscribe to his channel. For you guys here live, the AIC Ninja Watchers, as well as the Replay Gang, #Replay Gang, go and subscribe to BT's channel, Broken Traditions, man. You can go ahead and search him up on YouTube. Really good brother. I've been rocking with him since I've been on YouTube as well. We kind of met through some of the same different people on YouTube, content creators. So we kind of got like this small little coalition of people that we rock with, we cool with, man. He's a really good brother, man. He knows his business, man, and he be talking that business on his channel as well. So go ahead and support Broken Traditions on his channel, man. Also, I just want to send a shout out to T. Orlando. Whenever T. Orlando clicks the link, you know he got something to say, man. T. Orlando be trolling these chats, man, but if he gonna click the link, he got something to say, and man, he has something to say, man. That's why we gotta have people who are on their square, legal minds, professional minds, who know what the hell they're doing and know what the hell they saying, because we ain't just making this shit up, guys. You know what I mean? He says, what's going on, Stevie D? Do the Angels Crew. Yeah. Dave Hillsong United. Yeah. So, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Thank y'all for supporting me. Like, comment, subscribe, and click on the bell notification below, guys. I need that support. Oh, man. Let me see here. One more thing here. Make sure I'm not missing anything. I think we're all good here. Thanks to everybody in the Cash Apps here. Y'all supporting the Cash Apps. Thank you. Everybody supporting the Super Chat, Super Thanks, Super Stickers. Thank you. It's the way we keep the lights on. But we'll be back again, guys. Be on the lookout for the next thumbnail, because we're going to be here this week, guys. We'll be back. Whether we talk more about Diddy, if we got more updates, or more Dick Nanigans, or hell, we're talking politics, I'm getting demonetized, we'll be back for it. But on that note, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Get ready for some dinner and call it a night. On that note, I'll check y'all on the flip side, guys. Peace out.